Virginia.
Hey, what it do, what it do, what it do. Better late than never on a Monday evening, July 8th, I believe, 2024. Welcome to Outlaw Radio, man. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am known as the Outlaw, world-class smartass, the Negro Whisperer. I'm in the building for a Monday evening edition of Outlaw Radio. Chop up some topics, talk about some ideologies, discuss some methodologies. I'm sure you'll find something that you can get with. I do have my co-host with me tonight, Mr. Carter, sitting up in the corner. I think it's Hollywood Squares. He's sitting up in the corner, right? What it do, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm well and doing. How is everybody out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk, raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Cover your ears. Hey, mama, there go the CMOS, man! Y'all better come on in. Make sure you go to the house by quality and get what you can get.
Yeah, man. Sheesh, House of Vitality. What can we say? Definitely something we're gonna talk about as we move on. Fonzarelli in the building tonight, man. Glad to have you back. Cause normally you've been kind of in and out. So I know you've been
man.
Allergies and all this kind of stuff. What's going on with you?
Yeah, I'm actually feeling good today, man. But on the catch-22 of that is my grass ain't been cutting a couple of days.
Oh
So
wow.
it started to look wild. But I noticed I kept my lawn looking good, but that must have kept some shit in the air because man, I've been dealing with allergy shit the whole month of June.
Oh, okay. Good to have you aboard.
For sure.
It's Monday evening, man, and it's more of the same of what we do on Outlaw Radio, which is talk about black people stuff. So people say, what is Outlaw Radio about? It's about black people. Well, what kind of stuff y'all talk about? Black people stuff. That's what we do on the show. So if that's a conversation that you like to, partake in or either just listen to sometimes, because I know a lot of people listen and don't call in or get in the chat room. But if you want to get involved, the number is 262-202-5131. That's 262-202-5131. And, of course, the chat room is popping, which is already popping. I see Dion in there. You know Dion going to always be in there early. Says, hello. Once again, I want y'all to think about, I hadn't really even logged on. He was already in the chat room. I don't know how you do it.
Hey, and I also want to know, how do we do that in a drive? You're on a highway somewhere, right? In a big-ass truck flying down the highway.
Whoa. Why Mac Jones, my brother. How you doing, man? The blues man is in the building.
Peace.
Play the old school blues. Welcome. This is Juan Mac Jones. He be jamming, man. What up, Juan? Dion says, thanks, Rail. I appreciate the favor, bro.
For sure.
He said he's ready to talk some shit. Juan said, awesome show. It is too. Right. Hey, man. Thank you, Juan. Thank you. He said much respect. Hey, man. Listen, shout out to you, Juan. Shout out to Fletch, EPU Personal Defense. He's our sponsor. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. As usual, EPU Personal Defense. There's a website. Listen, it's there. EPUSDS.com. And you can learn the EPU way. Self-defense, man. Learn how to, right? Willie D said, I'm going to make you read these Nikes. You gotta learn some. You gotta have some pugilistic skills. There he is, Fletch. He said, "What up, family? Let's go.
Peace.
We'll get down to it, man. So shout out to everybody, man. Share the show. First of all, I got to say, the 4th, right? We haven't talked after the 4th, right? So I want to say, how was everybody's holiday? Everybody, Kamar, what'd you do for the 4th?
Laid around this house, relax. Lazy. I felt guilty because I ain't do shit.
Nothing, right?
My plan, I was planning on, I even had somewhere to go, you know what I mean? I just chose to stay in the house.
Just chilling. None, chilling.
Just chilling.
Bro,
Like
man, from the
eating
fifth.
sandwiches.
Right. Real, what you got, baby? So I know you had to do something. Oh, I forgot, but you unconditional. So
Man, I just enjoyed my off day, man. Slid through and see my family, and then took my kids and their mama to see her family, and then got home, chilled, and dealt with them fireworks, man. I guess I'm at an age now where I hate fireworks.
Wow.
Hey, the key word you just used was dealt with them fireworks.
Man, I was hating them. I was praying for the rain.
Fireworks, like, because that's what it is now. If you ain't popping them, you dealing with them.
Right.
You hearing them for sure.
Right.
Look, I don't. Okay, so I don't have a problem per se with the fireworks. Honestly, I don't, because I grew up, you say popping firecrackers and whatnot. But the first thing for me is brothers now ain't shooting like when I was a kid. The little shit we used to shoot, maybe you had a couple packs of firecrackers. Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
What the little things, the M80s or whatever, the little joints. But man, these dudes now have the shit you see on the lakefront, damn near.
Right.
And it's just, and I'm saying, okay, 10 o'clock, it's time to shut him down. No, 1, 2, 3. It rained. They came back outside and kept
right.
Dion said rail is echo, and Dion, it got to be you, because I don't hear echo.
No, I hear echo on all of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It shouldn't be.
I hear one on rail.
Okay.
Shouldn't be no echo. Let me test this out for a minute. There should be no echo.
Check. Microphone check.
Y'all let me know if this is better. Let me know if this is better.
Yep.
It is
a lot better.
Okay.
It sounded a little louder on my end. It was kind of low on my end too. Am
Really?
I still echoing?
We good now.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Okay, y'all, and I appreciate that, because when this audio ain't right, man, you be on here talking and shit. You think you're doing your thing, you don't know. They either can't hear you or they either can't hear you or it's not on. I mean, like, it's just echoing and fuzzing, and you going in. I got him that time. No, you did. Nobody heard what you said. That's why I always tell y'all, look, if you can't hear the sound effects, or if I sound too echoey, something's wrong, because there should be no echo in my studio. So I got a good soundproof kind of thing going on. So yeah, man, just in case you want to start a podcast, you just got a crash course on audio right there. But no, back to the fireworks. And I want to say, prayers for all the people who were displaced by the fire. Was it on Mill Road or Silver Spring? I thought it was on Silver Spring. Somebody said Mill Road, where they said allegedly the cause of this was fireworks. And then at Wellness Our Way, Kamar, you had some people, and I interviewed the sister too. They got a dope organization who brought the food just for people who may have been displaced that come up there and eat.
Yeah, Sensoray, I believe.
Sensoray, that's her name. She told me the name of her, or resources. It's something resources.
Resources and Beyond or something like that.
And she told it to me.
I can't think of it. Give me a second. I'll figure it out though.
Well, I interviewed her. So if you go back and look at the show from Saturday, because we actually did Outlaw Radio from Wellness Our Way. I interviewed her. I interviewed some dope people Saturday, because I finally met the sister Classic, who's responsible for the Classic brand.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many people wearing that stuff, and I was always wondering, like, is this a Milwaukee thing? I finally got to meet her.
Classic right here. I'm wearing a Classic shirt now.
There you go. Yeah. Shout out to her.
Hey, I love that brand though, for real. I like the idea of it and everything, the concept, all that, man. It's dope.
And then I talked to my sister, Jamila Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she goes in on economics, black economics, and what she's doing with the Unity markets, which is I told her I would big up her. It is July 13th, 2036. Brittany, I'm sorry. What did I say?
Yeah, you said Julie.
Oh man, I'm sorry. It's Brittany Muhammad. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Brittany Muhammad.
Brittany Muhammad. I'm definitely sorry. I don't know who now. I probably said one of Malcolm X.
I know her, and I repeated you and said Brittany Ali.
Right. You agreed with me. That hyped me up. So that's on you.
Sorry, sister. I'm sorry.
You be on that bullshit trying to set me up. Yeah, Kev, that's her name. Knowing damn well that ain't her name. No, it's Brittany Muhammad. Brittany Muhammad.
That's
And her
right.
phone number is 414-998-3999. This is the Unity Market. She has a dope kind of vision on what she wants to do with Black economics. And it's like an outdoor market. And there's vendors. She said there's vendor spots available. Once again, 414-998-3999. And it's going to be at 2236 West Atkinson. Smack right, my home. Yeah. Support that sister. Support that sister. So yeah, it was dope people, man, who I just like, man, I can't.
Yeah.
And the brother who I don't know his name, but he gave me some goo. And I wiped it on my hand, and my hand felt better.
My brother Gil.
He was like, I can't tell you nothing. I can't. He gave me some. It worked. It don't smell the best, but I'm like, dude, my hand actually feels better. I'm scared to put some more on. Like, I don't know what's in this. Might be some LSD or some shit. I don't know.
Nah, he legit.
Wow.
Gil was legit. He's legit. He actually been working on that cream, man, for a while.
This is it right here.
Yeah. He's been working on it for a while.
Yeah.
He gave me a couple different versions of it as he's been working.
Yeah, we was in that boot camp together, that Black Chamber of Commerce business boot camp together. We was chopping it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a good brother, man. He's a good brother.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know.
But you know, that's one of the things too, though. Like one of the visions what I have for Wellness Our Way is the networking. You know what I mean? To be able to meet. You know, I'm always talking on here about a whole different community of people that's doing stuff. You know what I mean? And actually out here putting work in, not just out here preaching and marching. You know what I mean? But people that's in their lane and they really doing what they do. This is what Wellness Our Way is all about, and being able to come and network and meet these people and figuring out how can we work together. You know what I'm saying? Because with everybody that's at Wellness Our Way, that's what it was about with me, figuring out how I could work with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing when you working with people and just got something going and everybody working as a collective to one idea. You know what I mean? It's dope as shit. I'm sorry, kid, but one more thing. And then to be able to see the event doing what I had a vision for it doing. You know what I'm saying? The feeling that I got the other day when them brothers was coming upstairs with their paperwork and they knew what to do with, you know what I mean, their next steps as far as getting their felons, man, they had some grins on their face, dog, that they probably ain't like had in a while. You know what I'm saying? I got chill bumps right now thinking about it. And this is just like I say, the vision. Like I love being able to help people. I used to think my passion was the herbs, but my passion is making people feel good, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the herbs and all that stuff is just one of my lanes.
For me, it's just talking to people who have these businesses and these visions, and just really getting to sit down with them and say, why you do this? How did you start doing this? Like, what made you do it? Like, what's your reasoning behind it? Like, what benefits does this have for us? And it just turned into dope conversations. A lot of people wouldn't believe. Most of the time, I've never seen nor met this person.
Right. Yeah, we were just sending them in. We were just sending them in. Introduce yourself. It's okay. That's kind of dope too, though.
I'm looking at the show after it's done. It's like 3.5 hours. I'm like, dude. Sitting in a bubble talking to yourself for 3 hours.
Hey, Kev, and then imagine like what you doing. You know what I mean? How you touching people too. You know what I mean? You touching people. You got people giving people an avenue to be able to come and talk about their craft, talk about what they love. You know what I mean? And spread the word of what they do, man. You know what I mean? You are like being an important piece of that journey too. You know what I'm saying? Doing what you do with it.
It's really just, but like I pretty much, man, I agree with what you said. Of course, you giving me credit. I'm taking that shit. But
no, it's real. I know how I felt, right?
On another level, though, I realistically could have a conversation with probably anybody.
Right.
Like I just noticed that about myself, like in the past few years. Like, dude, I could literally just sit and talk to anybody and turn that into like a 2-hour conversation.
Right. If you speak English.
Right.
English.
If you understand some of this shit, I'd be, no, I don't know that.
But
no,
no, but really, you know what I mean? I know the feeling. I know what that feel like, you know what I mean, to go on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Or to be able to go on a platform, any kind of platform, and to be able to push your brand, to talk about what you do, that feel amazing. Like even at the last event, I had a few different vendors that came and was like, man, that's so dope, man. You know what I mean? During the event, you could go in there and interview and talk about our stuff, and you know what I mean? Like this, it's amazing, man. What you do is amazing. I'm saying,
yeah,
for people,
it's just me just reacting to them because I'm
right.
like, damn, that's what you. I mean, like I'm talking to the sister Cheyenne with the stones, the Yoni stones, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Mr. Gypsy.
yeah, as a man, I mean, and most of us as men, we don't have a clue about what it takes for women to maintain. Like you want it when you want it, and you
Right.
expect it to be clean and present,
That's
right?
it.
Like, you don't think nothing about maintenance, right?
At all times, right?
Right. We like the dude who want to ride all the time but never have no gas money. He just want to ride. He don't care what it take to make the car run. And I get my oil changed. What you need that for? Let's go. Let's roll. Let's hit the road.
Right.
So it was just interesting to hear.
Ooh, let's go to so-and-so house.
Right. You ain't got nothing. Come on, man.
I need to let's go to the store.
And being mature enough as a man and happily to get to a point in my life now where I know I'm a grown man because I'm mature enough for that conversation without it being like, ooh, I'm so turned on right now. Like, I just want to do something to somebody. Like, it's like, whoa, this is something that, you know, you can learn from. So it's a dope experience. Y'all make sure y'all get out and go back and watch the show. The numbers on it are pretty good, actually. Mama Jenkins in the chat room. I'm sorry, Mama Jenkins, I kind of had missed your comment at first. She said, good evening, my Outlaw family. Let's make it do what it do. The city got some big ballers in town. Downtown is on blast. The Hyatt is front and center. Those motherfuckers fireworks lit up my hood. She said it was popping until 4 a.m. The smoke was so thick, and the smoke was in her house, even with the air on. Said anyway, the Saturday show was epic. So much to talk about in this raggedy city. Thank you, Mama Jenkins. I really appreciate that. Because I'm telling you, at one point I got to talking like I'm talking to Brittany Muhammad, and I forgot that we was doing a podcast because we was just sitting there talking about. She was talking about the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad and stuff like that, and I was just like, we was going, and I was like, dude, you doing the show? Like, you, this ain't Outlaw Radio, right? Like, it was cool. It was cool. Dion said he missed it. He showed enough hate. He missed it. Dion, hey, your mic is always ready, man. When you ready to come back on, man. We had a good time when Dion was there with me. He said, I know those women was sliding through. I don't know if women were sliding through or not.
That's all he thinking about.
Right, I'm not qualified to speak on that. I don't know if there were women sliding through. It's not something I was paying attention to.
When single men talk to married men, right?
Right. What
the hell are you talking about, dog?
I don't know. Sliding through.
Don't nobody care about the women that was coming sliding through.
Did they wax the floor at the Sherman Phoenix? Why were they sliding?
Right. I don't get it, Dion.
So we might not be able to do shit if dude get back in the White House. We talking about Trump, I assume, or Mama Jenkins said, how can I get some of that cream? I'm tired of taking medicine. Put his number up, please. Mama Jenkins, this is what I'm saying. This is like Secret Squirrel. I don't have his number. Everything I would ask him, he'd be like, well, I'm kind of still working on things, but I can't say nothing because the FDA will regulate me.
Recipe up yet.
The FDA, they'll regulate me. And so I was saying, I got to get back in touch with dude through Kamar, because Kamar, you know him, correct? Yeah. Okay. So Kamar, you can shoot Mama Jenkins my brother's information, because I am not gonna lie, man. I wanted to put some all on my, but I didn't like the way it smelled, number one. So I figured this should be something you probably do before you go to bed. Then you get up in the morning, take a shower, wash it off. So
hey, it depends on how much you hurt, nigga. I mean, you might not mind that smell.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Right. I don't like wax and oil, and I don't like all that stuff on my skin. So if it feels waxy, and I'm like I'm telling you, I don't put lotion on all the time. because it's like greasy, and you know, my wife was like, dude, put some lotion on your elbows. I'm like, I'm cool. I don't need my skin make its own lotion. Like, I wash my ass and use soap. I'm just saying sometimes I don't use lotion. Definition of an ashy ass nigga, right? So, but yeah. Kamar, you froze, I think. Yeah, he's froze. Oh no, you back now. I thought you was froze. But look, so Dion, he hit on something very important. But even before I get there, like I have to once again, this is something that's a result of wellness our way. Something totally unplanned. I see the homie Sean Moore. Sean Moore comes in, and if you don't know, Sean Moore provided the footage of the young brother Devontae Mitchell being murdered in front of the Hyatt. And so he just was there. So he came in once again. It was like Outlaw Radio. And me and him were just going. I think that might be the first time me and Sean have ever done a live joint together. I know he's been on the phone a lot of times. But he provided the footage that everyone's seen. And I talked about the fact that he provided the footage for when the hotspot was getting raided. He was when the brother was murdered outside the gas station on Teutonia. He wasn't there when it happened, but he was frontline through the whole deal with the actions that got it shut down. So I'm like, Sean, man, you got some hell of a timing. But he was way just humble about it. Like, you know, I just I don't want no, because he was like, I ain't even selling the footage. I said, you should have sold it to him. He was like, I just couldn't. I felt like I couldn't. So that's a dope conversation too that we had about what's going on. He talked about, of course, we know Tierman Spencer, my brother, who's a friend of the show, is no longer the city attorney, who was the first black city attorney, man. And it was just a dog hunt for just a witch hunt for my brother. His whole time he was in. And so I guess Evan Goike is now the city attorney. And there's some issues with some things some maneuvering that's been done in the court. Go back and check out the show. Plus, I want to leave enough room for Sean for when he does his podcast, because he said it was coming back. They were in hiatus. He's going to talk about it. So definitely dope to see Sean Moore there. Shout out to Sean, man. You know, you've been out here working. And he made a point, because we had a very interesting conversation about activism in the city. And he was making a point that he had no desire to be an activist. He said, I'm not representing the family. I'm not their spokesperson. I'm not, you know, he's just said, I just simply had the footage. I just happened to be there to get the footage. So I've only communicated with them in that regard. And of course, we know Eagle Eye Shaw, who is a friend of the show.
You like part of the Secret Service now, man.
Well, Eagle Eye Security. So I'm telling you, there's nothing Eagle Eye does not
do. I've seen that.
Right.
Proud of you, brother. Proud.
I mean, and he's hooked up with Eddie Silas. So they're there with the family on security detail.
Yeah,
Attorney Benjamin Crump and the other young black brother who came on our show, Kamar, the other attorney from here, high profile brother. Shout out to him, because he sure came on here that time. That was a dope ass show. And I can't remember his name. I'm having a brain fart. I should have wrote it down. It's Ben Crump and what is the brother name, man? He was smooth, man. He was Johnny Cochran-ish. Like, I don't even, Kamar, you don't remember the show. I gotta find it.
I do remember the show. I don't remember his name though.
Yeah, it was a while ago, man. And I haven't it's not like I've needed legal representation. So I don't. But yeah, he's a young brother out here making moves too. So yeah, Eagle Eyes and Eddie. I said, oh man, these dudes done hooked up, because they didn't know each other. And when I'm not saying I introduced, I ain't have nothing to do with it, but I'm saying I wanted to bring Eagle Eyes in with the Trigger Happy TV thing, which we're still trying to get off the ground. Should be coming pretty soon. Shout out to Eddie Silas, Prolific Firearms. And I want if he's going to be a part of that. So now I see they communicate, because I had asked Ed, do you know this brother? Like, he's gun like we are. You know what I'm saying? He's gun gang like we are. I just made that up. Gun gang. So yeah, man, that's dope. And them brothers together, probably hell of a security detail.
Man, all they need is Fletch for the Kung Fu. Jim Kelly.
In case a motherfucker get too close.
And that is literally
put some hands on them.
That is literally
the fruit of the brother who the fruit of Islam. You know, so they got some cold folk.
That's literally 3 the hard way if you put Fletch with him. He's Jim Kelly. That's the Holy shit. Now, I take credit for putting that shit together. Like, I hooked this shit up, y'all. Jim Brown, the Hammer, and Jim Kelly. Oh, man.
I was just watching the Original Gangsters the other night. Cracking up, man.
Back up, jive turkey. You're too close. Oh, man. No, that's dope, though. I'm glad, brother. See, once again, that's the beauty, Kamar, like you were talking about Wellness Our Way. The ability to just network with each other and people can make connections, right? And when it's useful, right? Because, you know, sometimes you go to these events, motherfucker be talking out, oh, yeah. You don't hear from his ass. But sometimes you actually make a valuable connection, and it's like that shit is helpful.
Well, you know, we here at Wellness Our Way, like I said, it's a bunch of doers. You know what I mean? People who do what they talk about. You know what I'm saying? So we can eliminate all of that extra stuff. You know what I mean? These people really do what they talk about and love doing it.
That's his name. Thank you, Mama Jenkins. B. Ivory Lamar. That is the brother.
Yeah.
B. Ivory Lamar. And I think Eagle Eyes may have hooked that up. I think Eagle Eyes may have hooked that up. I think he's the one who put that together because he was at that point. Eagle Eyes was a sponsor of the show. He was a sponsor before Fletch became. So we rocking, man. We rocking. Tiarsha Arthur, she says, "Good evening, Kevin, Kamar, Rail, and the Outlaw family."
Peace.
My sister, how you doing?
Peace, family.
Y'all share the show. Share the show. Put it in somebody's face. Put it in their face. Put it in their face. Say, let it stain you. Take that. Yeah. 262-202-5131 is Outlaw Radio live from the basement. A lot of discussion about this 2025. What is this? Project 2025. I had to throw this out here for us to have a discussion about tonight because, you know, I lived through, Y2K, and I've lived through, all kinds of popular theories. That what was the one white boy who was saying, he was adamant, and this was a while ago. He's like, the world is literally going to end tomorrow. And people was panicking, and, so when I usually hear something like this coming, I ignore it, but I did stop and give it some merit. I mean, some looking over, and I want to talk about what kind of merit this has. Like, is this even a thing? So the 2020 project 2025 is supposed to be this plan that Trump has where he's gonna basically eliminate the Constitution and suck all of the freedoms and rights in and give it. They're saying he's giving it back to the states because the states actually have power over most of their laws, right? The state can have their own law and the feds can have a different law, but the state has the right to govern itself. So there's, his removal of all kinds of social service programs, and he's saying, I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't know what that is. I have nothing to do with it. I don't know where it came from. So, and it's supposed to be all designed to make him this kind of America's first king. Yeah, dictator. Like he's gonna be, and how much of this is Democratic hype, and how much of this is a distinct possible reality? I'm wondering. So, if you have an opinion on it, call in. If you have an opinion on it, put it in the chat room.
I got to read more into it. Okay. I know a lot of people was telling me to read it, like look it up, because like the shit I did see, like it was like they'd be able to dissolve like what is the what is it? It was like a whole lot of shit. I think they was even saying the Department of Education or something like that and shit.
All of that. I'm gonna read it.
But on the flip side of that, I've heard people say, look up Agenda 2030 and shit like that. Like, you never know. Like, unfortunately, whenever it's political season, there's a whole lot of fear mongering that goes on. Especially, it seems like it always be the Democrat shit too. Well, if he get in the office, you're gonna lose every tit you suck alone type shit. But I guess my bigger concerns are which motherfucker is gonna give like the say so over to the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum and the UN and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm more leery of the person who might seem with that. I mean, I'm not endorsing Trump or anything like that. I mean, me personally, I would like him over Biden, but I don't fuck with him either because of the shit he said about the Gaza Strait. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with nobody who back Israel and shit like that.
Okay. I just want to give some light to what this is supposed to be without entertaining some of the memes and some of the things that I've seen that where you say they're gonna take your woman, she gonna cut one of her titties off. It's like, what they gonna do that?
Right.
Trump gonna make that shit legal? It's like, yeah. So they're talking about what is it, right? Trump is saying, first of all, I have no idea who's behind it. He says he disagrees with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. So anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them. However, several people who are linked to this worked in his administration as allies or on his reelection campaign. Director Paul Dans was chief of staff at the Office of Personnel Management under Trump. Associate Director Spencer Chadin was a former special assistant to Trump and associate director of presidential personnel. And advisor Russell Vought worked in Trump's office of management and budget. So what is it? Supposedly, or what they're saying is a 2025 document that outlines 4 aims: to restore the family as the centerpiece of American life, dismantle the administrative state, defend the nation's sovereignty and borders, and secure God-given individual rights to live freely. It's one of several policy papers for a platform broadly known as Agenda 47. Okay. Now, what it's supposed to be, it proposes that the entire federal bureaucracy, including independent agencies such as the Department of Justice, be placed under direct presidential control. Okay. It's known as unitary executive theory. And they said that would streamline decision making, allowing the president to directly implement policy in a number of areas. Y'all hear what I'm saying now? Now, we just talked about judges, right? And he's, who appoints judges and who's in those offices. And so under this, the president would be able to dictate all this, and he would have the final call on any kind of judicial decisions, which gives him ultimate power. Let me see. Let me catch my chat room. Dion is up on this as well. He says the Republicans are not participating in any of that. They're not with DEI, African American history, climate control, no more public school, and the list goes on. This is Mama Jenkins talking about the brother Devontae White. The little girl mother got their own attorney. This is what I read in the paper. I just hope they got the cameras in when he first entered the hotel. Okay, so back to the 2025 plan. Increase funding for a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border. That was what Trump wanted. Proposes slashing federal money for research and investment in renewable energy, and calls for the next president to stop the war on oil and natural gas. Okay. It's supposed to address tariffs, and is divided on whether the next president should try to boost free trade or raise barriers to exports. So, abortion, of course, they don't call for a nationwide ban, but it proposes taking away the pill. The what's it called? The morning after? What is it called?
The Plan B pill?
Plan B. I said, what I say, the morning after? I'm old as shit.
Man, that's the same thing.
Okay. I'm thinking Frankie Beverly and Mays and shit. After the morning after. Never mind. So that's in short what it is. So it's basically what that was a more pro explanation of it from obviously whoever wrote that was right leaning. But basically what it is a plan to systematically make Trump the all powerful head of our government.
King.
Yeah, who controls everything basically.
Try not to say king.
All right. Well, they're trying their best, right? King Trump. I mean, and it all makes sense when you look at, and this is what I'm saying. I can understand people be concerned when you look at the fact that he was convicted on these 32 felonies, and then all of a sudden rules were made to allow him to circumvent the law, basically, and given some sort of immunity. And the crazy part about it is they tied it to being the president. So it's a gray area as to whether this was an official act of as a president or not. So is this even something we can go? Maybe you're immune to this. And they just made this shit.
Hey, I was watching something, man, where they was talking about if the president can commit crimes of presidency or something like that, they said it'd be immune. Like it's up in the air if Biden would be able to put a hit out on Trump because of all that shit.
You said Biden would put a hit on Trump?
They said they were saying like it would be legal for Biden to put a hit out on Trump and take him out
as the president.
As a presidency. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If it's really true, I'm just saying, like,
if that's how we gonna do it,
that would be an option that's up in the air.
Yes, if that's how we gonna do it.
One of Tom Clancy movies.
If he's worried about how the country or what Trump wants to do to the country, that may be able to fall under an acts of presidency crime.
Give me a second, Dion. I got to get my phone on. Let me
get worried about, you know what I mean? Because he's worried about what could happen to the country.
Hold on, Dion.
Like, or if he think Trump may be a possible terrorist. You know what I'm saying? To the country, an inland terrorist or something like that. I mean, and that's possible because of what he did at the last presidency when they stormed the Capitol. You know what I mean? Like, you can almost say he's a terrorist.
Well, he hasn't even. This is the thing. Before he even got to that point, they hurry up and made this immunity thing up because that, if convicted of that should have been a nail in the coffin. You got to go.
That's what I'm saying. Like that could have been an act of terrorism.
Well, I'm not saying that it won't be.
It could have been. You know what I mean? Right. If they'd have looked at it like that.
Tiasha says the Klan leader said he didn't create it. He's lying because he's been saying he's removing Congress. So he can just make rules, and all those mofos was on his staff when he was president. He said, did everyone forget the mofo said he's going to do payback for not being reelected? He wants to be another Hitler. She said he sold the immigrations are taking black jobs. He said immigrants are taking black jobs. What the heck is a black job? Yeah, we heard him with that faux pas at the debate with black jobs. Like, come on, dog. Ernest Walker said Rail giving Trump too much of a break. He said he's done way too much reckless bullshit to even consider he can anything he can bring, which is also nothing. Now, before you respond to that, you got Dion on hold. Dion, what's popping with you?
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Peace.
I want to thank you, Rail. I definitely appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah, I called into the show Saturday. I hate I missed it, but I had a little rendezvous. I was in Minnesota. Hopefully, I catch the second one. So me and Cam was discussing that Saturday about the 2025. So basically, that if you look at it, everything, and it's more than that. Oh my God, they don't want you to mention African American anything. If anything is taught with DEI, African American history, they talking about cutting the funding from the schools. They go, he already had backed out of the World Climate Control thing when he backed out of with Paris. So, and the reason, a lot of things that people don't be understanding is it's billionaires. So these billionaires, if you a billionaire and you don't care about people's health and things like that, you just want to fuck the environment up and make money. But I don't even know why they're not thinking about their own families. You understand what I'm saying? But I guess they just want the money. So things like that, end the gay marriage and all that. Now, I listened to some of it, and don't get me wrong, some of it did sound good, like giving the power back to the states, ending the gay marriage and stuff like that. Because like I told Kev when I was down there in Minnesota Saturday, it's just sick, and it make you want to just throw up, like you just taste bowel in your mouth. You seeing a man, ugly man, walking around dressed like a woman and named Elizabeth, and you like, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely can understand some of it, but with the racism that they try. First of all, Trump didn't write the 2025, the Heritage Foundation. And if you look at who are supporters and funders of the Heritage Foundation, it's a lot of people that we buy stuff from. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a conservative network of individuals that's trying to. But I think Trump is gonna be the president. The reason I say that though is because now what I don't like about it is that the Democrats are trying to abandon Joe Biden. But they knew this man was 150 years old when he ran for president. So now when he gets up there and his age is starting to show, they want to be like, and it's a lot of top funders are talking about backing out and not funding his political campaign no more. Kamala, whatever her name is, first of all, she's not African American. Let's get that straight. She is Indian, which her mother is Indian and her father is Jamaican. She's not our lineage of African American, which is they call ADOS, Americans descendants of slaves. So she didn't experience a lot of the things we experienced because she went to school for a short time in Oakland, California, but then she moved to Canada. You understand? But that's a whole different story. So she can't relate to you and I. She's not a strong enough candidate to take on Trump.
Hey, Dion, my question first would be, what president has been able to relate to us? We've never had one. I'm gonna tell you why. Because more often than not, if people looked at it, the presidents were all they all came from blue bread, blue blood families. So they came from generationally rich wealthy families. Most of the time, they say Bill Clinton was poor. Okay, get it. Obama was poor for all intents and purposes. But most of our presidents, the ones who are most greatly remembered, come from wealth and stuff like this.
Well, Obama's grandmother died. She left him $500,000. She left him $500,000. And so
he himself had been a lawyer, an attorney, went to Harvard and all this. So he got into the club. I said all that to say, I don't see anything like, okay, Biden is old. And people say, man, he's too old. But I mean, Trump is literally up there on some space age with some rhetoric and lying, like he's a problem child on purpose. And we know, because he's been president before, we know the irreverence that he brings. I don't know why do people think he's changed. He's gotten worse. So I would agree. I would agree as well. Now, as far as I didn't read all of the Project 2025. I just wanted to give people a basic idea of it, because they should go and look into this themselves. I told you that it was basically set up by some motherfuckers who used to work with Trump and were very close and very powerful staff people for him. And I know he's disassociating himself from it. I do understand that. The last thing I want to say, Dion, is the states already have their own with it. It's not returning anything. The states have. That's why we have our own Supreme Courts. The states already have their rights. That's what blocks a lot of things from. It's like marijuana. The decriminalization of marijuana is that states can make it legal, but if it's not federally decriminalized, your ass will still go to jail if you go across, if you leave the state within, unless you go into another state that it's legal. So I just want to say the states they still have their power. So what are we returning? Because right now, states could come back and say, no, we want abortion legal. And it could be legal. A lot of states said, all right, cool, it's illegal. That's what they said. So I just want to add that.
And he's talking about defunding Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. It's just the list just goes on and on and on. And to me, I'm looking at it like it's almost like I'm not too much of a believer, you know what I'm saying, like religion and God and stuff like that. But it's almost like it's ordained to happen, like the New World Order type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So regardless, like, if we got out there and voted in droves, I feel like the United States is just like Rome, Greek, Germany, and all. It's going to succumb within itself. This is something that must happen in order for things to be fulfilled. So it's almost like, I can't think of the word real. He probably knows the word.
Prophecy?
But it's almost like a prophecy. It almost like this has to happen for things to be fulfilled. And no matter what we do or what type of control we think we're going to have over it, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Now
speaking of Rail, I didn't give you a chance to respond, first of all, because You said you agree, you would vote, you'd like to see Trump in, and everybody else is pretty much like, I want to give you a chance to talk and say, this, that, and the third.
I don't want to deal with either one of those motherfuckers. Like I said, I can't fuck with Trump because, man, shit. Like I said before, it's just two fucking wings on the same bird. Like Dion said, it feel like that one world order shit being ushered in. But it's just two different methods. Either you got the blatant in your face method that Republicans give you, or you got the underhand shit that Democrats do to where you look up and be like, oh well, goddamn, we in slavery again. I get like, you know what I'm saying? They don't. It ain't like one is better than the other. One is just sneakier than the other. You know what I'm saying? Like even that whole when they was talking about they was gonna put that bill through the ban TikTok, and then you seen people like they need to ban TikTok. The bill never even mentions TikTok. What it does is it gives the president the power to ban any website or app that he deems as a threat.
Okay.
So that means if this show was deemed as a threat, this should be shut down. But they kind of do that Trojan horse shit by saying like TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like the TikTok bill. It ain't a TikTok bill. This is once again like when you look at shit like that.
I thought with the TikTok, they made demands that if you're gonna do TikTok, it has to be
like an American company and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were saying, well, because places like China are getting all your information. And Facebook went on trial and saying, yes, we've been selling y'all information. That's why the shit is free, because we sell y'all information. We make a bag by selling y'all information to marketers and shit. And then they even showed how this current president and his staff has been now shown to have influenced social media to tell them not to allow posts that discourage the COVID vaccination. Mm-hmm. So it's like we always get the bullshit that the Republicans doing in that fear mongering shit to kind of make you feel like, well, we gotta vote Democrat. They not as bad. They for the people. No, they both ain't shit. But unfortunately, I get chastised whether I say I'm voting for Trump or I'm not voting at all, because people, well, if you ain't voting for Biden, that's a vote for Trump.
You getting it either way.
Yeah, it's like, no.
On your ass.
I'm gonna keep learning how to grow my fucking food. I'm gonna keep learning how to fish and hunt. And I'm trying to get to a point where it don't matter who the fuck in office.
Right. I just, like I said, I want to give you.
I'm with you, real.
Now let me look. We got a lot in the chat room.
Shit, so go down. We might join forces. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, shit. We got Eagle Eye. We got Fletch.
You know what I'm talking about? We might have to join forces. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Well, let me get this chat room. It's a lot going on. So this is Ernest Walker. Shout out to Ewalk. Now I already read his comment about Real was giving too much credit. Okay, so Tiasha says Real is mad about Biden helping Israel, but forgot everything the Klan leader has done to Black and brown people. He was sued for not renting to Black and brown people. And did everyone forget he didn't stop the COVID virus because he thought it was a hoax? She said, I don't agree with stopping same-sex marriages. Let them marry whoever they want to. Their marriages are not hurting any of us just because people don't like it. She said, I say so. And John Fletcher loved Dion's energy. He said, Dion's spitting.
Hey, you know what? And that's the problem, man. That's another problem with this election, man. It's like Real just clearly said he don't like neither one of them. He don't want to deal with neither one of them. You know, but he started
by saying he preferred to see Trump in the White House, though.
And that's the only problem.
I said if I have to vote, I don't fuck with Democrats like that. They sneaky. Like, to me, I don't deal with sneaky ass bitches.
Right.
And I would rather a motherfucker violate me in my face, because now I can see it, I can address it, versus motherfuckers that try to use that psychology to manipulate me and say, hey, I'm your friend, while they going in my back pocket and shit.
Okay.
I could respect the bully before I could respect the motherfucking manipulator and swindler.
Go ahead.
I just want to finish my point. That's all.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like, I say it all the time too. Like, I clearly don't like neither one of them. You know what I mean? But It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse in me, right? Where it's like I could see good and bad in everything. You know what I mean? Like on one side, I see both the bad. I see, and I don't like neither one of them. You know what I mean? But it's a couple little speckles of shit here and there. You know what I mean? Like, okay, with Biden, this is what my people running with, and I love my people. You know what I'm saying? With Trump, I don't know what the fuck it is, like what people like about Trump, but I know it's different things. Like it could be financial, you know what I mean? The tax bracket, what people say they vote for, but it's just different reasons, I'm saying. But when we talk about it, we can say we don't like neither one of them, but then as soon as you say who you prefer, a motherfucker want to argue with you.
I don't think they was trying
like,
to argue.
I don't like neither one of them.
I don't think they was trying to argue with him. I think they was saying to him,
saying,
like, why do you like him? If you say you like him, you should be able to explain why you like him.
I'm saying I ain't saying argue as far as argue like I'm upset at him and mad. I'm just saying like it's always a bunch of pushback. Like why can't anybody just say what they want to say and then that be it, and then somebody else say what they got to say about how they feel? It always turned into trying to persuade somebody to think different.
You either with us or against us type shit.
You know what I mean?
We could agree to disagree and still
and
be
this
cool.
Is one of the things that they doing to us with their whole election. They got us banging on each other. You know what I mean? That's the whole fuck, man.
More division.
It's a such thing as a conversation. Exactly. I think people have. You could say you like LeBron more than you like Jordan, and it's a conversation.
Even with that,
you can say McDonald's and Burger King.
Even with that
conversation.
Anytime
you say what you like, be prepared for somebody to say that's some bullshit. Why do you like that?
It's always the motherfucker who asks you though. I ain't saying you, Kev. I ain't saying you, but usually, like real, he don't speak on his political beliefs and shit until somebody asks him. And then when somebody asks him, now he got to deal with them throwing jabs back at him and shit.
That would be funny to me.
I didn't even want to talk about this shit,
man.
Like, because of that.
I think place and time is what's most important, because if you on something like this, like a platform, and you say something and people are commenting about it, that's kind of what you want. Like, because if you're the person on the show that no matter what you say, nobody responds, you're probably not going to be on the show long.
Right, but it becomes a problem. I ain't speaking on the show, you know, podcasts, talk shows. This is what people do. They talk. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking in everyday life. Like if I'm at the store and somebody asks me about this,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, dog, ask me about your lungs or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to debate. I don't want to go back and forth.
They argue about that too. Like, what's really the best sea moss? I bet you there's some dudes that would go.
You know,
they would want to battle rap you over this shit.
And that was part of the point. What I was saying, I was getting at. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck we can't just be entitled to our opinions and quit pushing shit on people? Like, you know what I mean? Okay, I can say what I got to say, and that's it. You know what I mean? I ain't got to drag a motherfucker. I ain't got to keep going back and forth. Yeah, but. Well, you really ain't even listening to me. Because you're saying but, you know.
They listen to rebuttal. They don't listen to receive, you know.
Mama G said Trump is a fucking idiot. I vote for Biden any day over Trump. I don't give a damn if he put his legs in the same pants leg and can't piss straight. Get my vote over a fella. Mama Jenkins on point, right?
Mom brother ever lived.
I don't give a fuck. Ernest Walker said, "Man, fuck Trump."
Dump.
John Fletcher said, "Emotional intelligence."
Make that perfectly clear. The human dump.
John Fletcher said, "Emotional intelligence." LOL. Me and Rel was talking about this Saturday. Mama Jenkins said, "Just do like I do. Vote for who the fuck you want and leave me the hell alone. It's your vote. Fuck what others think. Motherfuckers died to vote, so vote for whoever you want." Yeah, you know what?
Hey, I remember growing up though. Like I remember people used to say you ain't supposed to tell nobody who you voting for. And now that I'm grown, I get it. This is fucking why.
I don't know. I feel like this. I admitted on the last show, and shout out to Shay and Kruma from out in Denver, because he couldn't believe I said it. I said I would literally vote for a hairless monkey I vote for a Muppet over Trump, and it doesn't like I'm enjoy the back and forth. See, I'm opposite of y'all because when people do try to do what Kamar's talking about, like they want to try to shoot at you. If you got ammunition to shoot back, then it becomes kind of like a joust. So it's like, no, just like you believe what you believe and you have reasons behind it, I can shoot back with the counter attacks like all day. So, and ultimately, I don't think those discussions are meant, at least I don't look at them as meant to change somebody's opinion. I look at that as a normal exchange of information. It's just how people do it. Like people ain't gonna come to you and say, "Hey, Real, teach me something about emotional intelligence." They're not gonna say that. What they'll do is they'll start talking as intelligent as you. Hold on. I'm talking about this. It ain't got nothing to do with my intelligence. If they walk up to Real and they want to know about emotional intelligence, they're not gonna ask. They'll start talking about some shit and be misinformed, and then you get them straight. Like you had this discussion with them, and they leave saying, "Damn, I didn't even know that." So they all the better for even trying to test your knowledge. So I don't, and you could be dumb as hell. Like if somebody's trying to tell me how to put a back end on a car, like I'm dumb as hell. I wouldn't know one gear from another one. All I could do is regurgitate what I heard. Like my brother said, you got to have this. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But after you tell me, no, Kev, this is what you got to do, I'm leaving there like shit. I stole that.
See, I used to get off on debating and shit. Like I posted some shit before. It said when I was ignorant, I argued. When I was arrogant, I debated. But now that I'm wise, I have discussions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even with debating, I don't feel like I have to be right. I'm gonna say what the fuck I feel. Listen to what you feel, and that's what. Oh, okay. I see where you coming from, or I see why you feel the way you do, and that'll be that. I don't now have like that was when I was when I was preaching and shit, studying apologetics. That's what I trained for. When people come against the Bible, I got all my scripture, because my goal was to either sway your opinion or prove to you why you're wrong. And now I'm to a point where I don't give a fuck about swaying your opinion or like. I don't need to be right no more. I don't need that validation or ego.
Oh no, y'all. Sometimes being right is what needs to happen because sometimes people need to be straightened out. Like
you say what's right.
I hate to see my people out here walking around with a false narrative. And sometimes there is room for correction. Everybody can benefit from it. Even myself, when people say, nah, and if it's valid, it's valid. And I say, oh shit, I stand corrected. That's a valid thing. But some people are overbearing. Let's get Dion back in the conversation because I did kind of cut him off.
Hey, but see, and that's why I say, you know what I mean? You can ask me a question and I can say what I say, and I listen to what you got to say. And that's the exchange of information right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've been at the store before and people come up there and they ask me questions about something what they don't know, right? But then when I start telling them, it still got to be this back and forth. But what if I? Well, you could do what you want to do. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I mean? So like that's what Real's saying. Like I'm not even finna go back and forth with you. If you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna tell you, and that's it.
Dion, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just elaborating on what you guys talking about. I do enjoy a little bit of political banter here and there, though. You know, because it's like we learning. You understand what I'm saying? It's basically like we learning. But I'm gonna tell you this though. You know, we'll see. You know, we'll see. And it's sad that, oh God, you know, our democracy is on the line. You know, because at the end of the day, it has been a fragile democracy. You know, that's just like, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but just this weekend, July 6th, the Patriots of Freedom, I think that's what they call themselves. And these white people are dangerous. I think I sent it to you, Kev, through Twitter and Messenger. You know, they marching. You know, they jumping out of U-Hauls.
Out the U-Hauls?
You sent me that.
Yeah, that's just like some purge shit. You know, imagine us, we out there, we all talking, and you see a bunch of white motherfuckers to jump out of U-Hauls with masks on.
Time to grip up.
Frightening.
Time to grip up. What do you mean?
Yeah, everybody can't grip up though. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part about it, what I don't like about the whole situation and everything, you know, but we all can agree and disagree, is that these people, these white people, feel like this is their, I don't even know what to call it. Like, this is their world. You know what I'm saying? Like the United States. But first of all, if you know your history, you know what I'm saying? You would know that y'all stole it from the Indians. What gives you, the Native Americans, why do these white people feel like they have so much entitlement to this land? Like they feel like they're, you did they think that we was going to be slaves forever? Most of you, and I don't even know what white person is. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good question.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even know what a white person is no more, because just think about it though. You had whites that were here, then you had the whites that came through Ellis Island, as they say, and the Polish and the Irish and the Italians, and then they was racist against each other. But then you had the people like, where did these whites come from? These Protestant whites, you know. They came from England, but it's just these people really feel entitlement, and it angers you. It really angers me for these people to have so much entitlement that they think that they can control and bully people, and at the end of the day, we can't win. Like I said, in a couple months, you can go to the EAA, and you will see all these people that actually own airplanes. When you going through Chicago and you pass, when you go into Chicago and you go in 94 and you see all those old Army equipment over there, those things are still active. You might think, oh, it's a museum. No, those motherfuckers, all they got to do is do a little something to get them back running. And then, like, people watch these gun shows and you see people with Gatling guns. You're like, oh, he got a Gatling gun, blah, 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 blah. That's something, a weapon that could be used against you. These people are dangerous.
They
when you have somebody spin the rhetoric that Donald Trump is spitting, it's emboldening them. They're becoming emboldened. That's why so much been going on. And then transferring this to what happened downtown. Look at the white boy told dude, well, that's what you get for going in the women's bathroom. He felt emboldened to beat that man ass and to tell him, that's what you get for going in the women's bathroom. You know, and everybody make mistakes. I don't know what made the man go in the women's bathroom, but listen, in this day and age, anybody could go in any bathroom. I just went in the women's bathroom.
The wrong one. I showed one the wrong one before because it got, and I'm like, oop, I wasn't supposed to be in this motherfucker.
Man, that should be wild.
Yeah, I still walked in there, you know, but that man went in there, and I wanted to fight a damsel in distress. Another white damsel in distress. And she was like, oh, a big black man is here. And he took matters into his own hands. You know, that's emboldened. And then to think about it, if you think about it, like the one brother said today, but even looking at how Derek Chauvin stood on George Floyd's neck, listen, he wouldn't have did a dog like that. You didn't have no compassion. None is no when man, listen, these people have no compassion towards us, man. And like I said, people quick to say, well, all white people ain't bad. That might be true, but I can take a grain of sand and think, I can't find it. Wait, hold on.
But now what, DR? Like, we do all that ranting and get upset. And now what? We been knew all that, though. We been knew it. 400 years of slavery, we learned all that. Like, what do we do now? Yeah. That's what we need to be talking about. We see it. We see this shit. We see Trump. This whole issue with the two different presidents. Why are we voting for? One of them is just like what you're talking about. The other one is faking like that. You know what I mean? We know this shit. We know this shit is all fucked up. We know they look at us fucked up. Now what do we do? Give me one of them rants.
I'll tell you this.
Give me one of them rants. Tell me what we do.
Wait, hold on. All right. It could be small individual people like you and I. But I'm not going to think about the you and I type of situation because it's small. It could be a group of 50 of us, maybe a group of 100, maybe a group of 200, maybe even 300, but we'll get crushed. But what happened was with us as a people that we became lax. You know, like Martin Luther King said, I'm putting my people in a burning oven. We wanted to integrate. We wanted to be accepted. You understand? So that put our defenses down. And a lot of us suffer from Stockholm syndrome. We're not gonna listen. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. It ain't nothing next, bro. That's plain and
So
simple.
we
Like
just
I
say
just said,
fuck it.
it
We
could be
just say
one,
fuck it and
two.
leave it at
It could
that.
be,
And just talk about
man.
how
Look,
we feel
I mean,
about us and how they
it'll be
treat us. We don't do nothing.
it'll be damn near just like you said, like you and Rail was talking about. It'll be little individual fractions where motherfuckers going underground,
That's how it
surviving
starts.
in the woods.
That's what I'm
As
talking
far
about.
as us as a whole, because just think about it though. You got 5 fingers, but when you put all 5 of your fingers together, it's mighty like that. But if you got a few infractions, as what we say insurgents, where you got people over here, people over there, people over there, people over there, but the mass majority, like, well, master this, master that, and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's for us, in order to beat this shit, it's gonna take everybody as a whole. So, like I said, me, you, Rail, Ken, we all get up, maybe go buy 100 acres of land and call it the New Black Foundation and live there, protect that motherfucker like they did. I can't think of the white boy name.
And that's where you're right now. Now we hitting on the circle.
Hold on. We got to stop talking over each other. Everybody talking at the same time.
Yeah, like they say like the white people had out here, but that's enough stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So
can I build on what he just said?
The question is, I don't know.
Dion,
because that was the beginning. That was the start. Can I build on it now?
Hold on a second. Go ahead, Kamar. Y'all talking over each other. Go ahead, Kamar.
No, I was trying to jump in, but Dion started talking, man, and
but that's
you can't get a word in. I'm just trying to catch him right where
everybody's like that. That's what I'm saying. Somebody got to stop and let the other person. Go ahead.
All right. So I felt like right there is where you hit it on the nail. Like we got to start even with the small circuits, even with just ourselves. You know what I mean? And then by us starting with ourselves, building ourselves, making ourselves right, everybody want to be happy. Everybody in the world. That's the one thing. And you know what I mean? When they start seeing that in you, other people start wanting to tap in. And what are you doing? How are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? We got to be that example. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be right, you're going to do good. We just got to be this example. We can't stand for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And we got to look at what do we do next? How can we fix all this trauma? How can we fix all the bullshit? First off, we got to say, fuck how them people think about us. You know what I mean? We can't change that. That ain't our business. It ain't our business how nobody feel about us. That's their business. It's their problem. You dig what I'm saying? So we just have to figure out, what do we have to do? How do we get up off our ass? What's next? You know what I'm saying? How can we learn to start living, working with each other? You know what I mean? But again, like we said, we starting with ourselves. So you got to figure out how to fix yourself, ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it begins, man. And it ain't going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? And for it to get right, for that shit to spread, we just have to continue doing what's right. Be the example. Continue being examples. More people gonna want to be that.
So I want to ask this question because, like I said, sometimes conversations become circular, and there's really no beginning and no end, right? It's just gonna keep going round and round. First of all, Juice Lady's in the building. What up, Courtney? How you doing?
Peace.
How y'all doing?
What it do on a Monday night, right? Tiarsha, shout out to Tiarsha. She says, I wasn't arguing, and I read these comments how they sound in my head, so I almost want to move my head. Like she said, I wasn't arguing with Rail. He said why he liked the clan leader, and I said why I don't. I'm still cool with him and still want some wine from him.
Oh, she was calling Trump the clan leader.
Yeah, that's what she's representing.
See, with me, I guess no, I didn't consider it arguing, and even if it was, I'm to a point now where I laugh at shit like that. But to what Dion was saying, I mean, I think black people, I love my folk, man, and I really feel if we took all our passion and emotion and actually did some productive shit with it, we wouldn't have a problem. Like the argument is these people are getting prepared, they got guns and shit like that. Okay, all the motherfuckers who ain't a felon and can get a gun, get a gun. Like, instead of crying about what the fuck they doing, you prepare. Like, I watch videos where, because I'm into guns and shit, even though I ain't got a lot, but I watch videos where 11-year-old girls doing obstacle course. First they got the shotty, boom. Then they got the pistol, boom, boom, boom. Then they got the rifle. And it's like, damn. But you know what I'm saying? That's what's stopping us who ain't got felonies for doing that. Like, we can prepare too. Like, and I ain't on no war type shit,
Right.
but we always talk about how these white folks is ready for war while we still get fucking Newports, fried chicken, shit.
Hey
like,
man, take it easy now. Take
if
it
you
easy.
really want to, I mean, but I'm saying, if you really scared, put that emotion into something productive and what you can control.
You leave
Okay.
fried chicken alone now.
If shit hit the fan, I can be more prepared if I get my health right. I mean, I'm talking to myself too. You know what I'm saying? Because I think about it all the time. Damn,
I'm gonna be out in the woods frying some
I
chicken.
got my health together where I really didn't need health benefits,
wouldn't
I
have to
could
work.
give a fuck about if
job.
health benefits are getting slashed.
Right.
So if we get grandmama off of pigtails and onto some alkaline food, maybe she won't need the blood pressure medicine, the diabetes medicine that she gotta play patsy to the Democrats for. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying this
Who
shit can't
grandmama
happen.
still eat pig feet?
I'm just tired of. I just can only hear so much complaining.
Like, shit on nobody, because like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm talking to myself. But these are things we can work on. We can't change how white motherfuckers look at us.
Right.
We can change how we treat ourselves and the knowledge we have.
Yeah.
That's why I grow food. I ain't no soldier.
I still want to know though, who grandmama's still eating pig feet though? Like who grandmamas don't do that no more. They be twerking.
Man, if I could handle pork, I'll still be eating pig feet. I didn't stop eating pork because I didn't like
grandmamas now 30 years old. Shit.
I stopped eating pork because I tried to do a little bit something for my health, but I still love it.
Courtney, you joined us knee deep in this Monday night edition of Outlaw Radio. It's the locker room, so welcome to the locker room. How you doing? What you been up to?
I'm well. I was tired. So it was about 6:53. I'm like, cool. The show is coming soon. Let me just rest my eyes, and then I'm gonna be up for the show. And then boom, it's like 8:30. I'm like, oh shit.
Boom.
So
you took a nap. You getting old. You took a nap. Wow.
I smoked.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're getting older. Sometimes you need a nap. Sometimes you just doze. Oh, what happened? I was watching Beverly Hills Cop. I missed the entire middle of the movie. I was like, but no, I wanted to know this because now they're saying Biden actually has Parkinson's disease. That's what, and I'm just picking up interference and I'm hearing. And supposedly there's they trying to get the information surrounding his doctor visits, which I know you can't because of HIPAA. You can't even share. And if you steal that shit, you in trouble. But obviously something's wrong with him, right? That is true. And there is talk amongst some Democrats to say he should drop out. And I heard Dion referencing Kamala, whatever her name is. Doesn't really bother me all that much that she's not a foundational Black American, that she's not, like Kendrick said, they're not like us. I feel like if a Latino president was elected, I would be happy because it's a minority. And we know that Mexicans and Black people have a very, very crazy relationship because they don't like us, right? And so to me, it's just about getting a minority in there. I would, if they put
even if they don't like you,
if they put Webster in the White House, I'd be like, now as much as I dislike Kanye,
what you talking about, Willis?
I'd rather see Kanye West president than Trump.
How about Arnold?
Right, well, if he was still alive, put Gary Coleman in there, right? Like
Kanye would have my vote, but I'm scared he'll get rid of porn because he on that crazy Jesus shit right now. So Kanye will fuck it up too, man. Like, damn, these are the options we have for leaders of the free world.
Shit you could be scared of. You like, I don't want this motherfucker to take porn.
Hey, man, you gotta have your reason. You gotta have your reason.
Everybody mandate everybody going back to church and shit. They got Jesus walk, gotta be everybody ringtone and shit. Like,
fuck church, keep the porn. You can close the church. Let me get porn.
Hey, I like freedom to do whatever the fuck I want as long as I ain't hurting nobody. And if you infringing on that, fuck you and your whole administration.
That sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't, once again, it's not. Father Time is undefeated, and shame on people who are really going at the man. Like, he didn't mean to get old. Like, I mean, He happened to be the president. 82, man. Look, this is
I mean,
room.
shit. Would somebody want
but people are
82
taking
year
this
old?
personal. They're taking it personal. Like, oh, what an idiot. How dare he get old? It should be a way more kind of thing. Like, okay, let's transition to the vice president. See, what we doing is, what we get caught up in is, and like Kamar said, and like Rail and so many other people have stated, that they're just not the type of people that want to go back and forth about this shit, because it's an issue that there's a lot of passion involved in this, because we talking about this country that we live in, right? And you don't want to wake up one morning and some wild shit going on, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, so everybody's passionate, so everybody feels a certain way. But I think these conversations absolutely have to be had, especially amongst black people, because the alternative is this, and this is what I got in my talking points. Fuck it, don't vote. All black people in this country from now on out, don't vote for nothing. Don't vote no election, none of that. Don't participate in none of the process. I'm warning you before you do this. You're not gonna like the results. But since black people resist so much against it, fuck it, don't vote. Don't vote. Don't vote for nothing.
I feel like the conversations do need to be had.
Productive shit.
But people need to know how to have the fucking conversations.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
People
don't know how to conversate. They don't know how to disseminate information back and forth. Instead, it turned into an argument or debate.
And it's because
you lousy motherfucker.
Because people take it personal. I mean,
yeah, man, they get personal and shit, man. Politics, people don't know how to disseminate information back and forth without getting emotional.
And that's where emotional intelligence come in, so we can have hard conversations, right? Without taking it personal. Now it's like, you know, like I said before, Miss Beverly was like, "You must be an idiot. You a Republican soul." And I'm like, God damn.
She got your ass. She got him real. I said, damn, real. You ain't gonna let her talk to you like that.
I hate talking to people like that, and they get disrespectful.
Really? I'm trying to run up a bag and get to Costa Rica, Ghana. So, like, I guess because I don't see myself.
Don't go to Ghana.
Yeah, because they too Christian there.
Well, they fighting over there. They in revolution. They got to overthrow the government. You should have just went to Brown Deer and party with them Africans. Yeah, look, hold on. I'm switching up. I'm switching up because they said for the first time in 19 years, they misled people and said there's African Fest was had. It was not Afrofest. Okay, it was Native Africans who had an African culture festival in Brown Deer, but the news said Afrofest is back. First time in 19 years. I'm like, y'all just really don't know shit about us. They
been having that shit every year too. That shit ain't new. They've been having that out there.
Right. Let's talk about that, because that's very interesting. And I read the information. It's in the People's News Network, by the way, as everything always is. Get with my group if you are not in it. But the young lady says, see, people think Africa is just one, like it's not a country, it's a continent. Mm-hmm. There's over 54 countries. And she said, we have somebody there from we have a representative of almost every place in Africa. And I thought in my head, and I hate that I'm this type of person, but I am. I thought in my head, like, y'all don't fuck with us. Like, I thought, like, you know, I'm starting shit. Fuck it.
They can't.
I want to know how many, if I'd have went out there, how many of those Africans would have had white wives or had white people on deck direct that they mess with? Like, and so there's a difference between our relationship with this country and Native Africans. And so when I seen that they had this festival and they was big up in it, I'm like, but that's not necessarily us. Like, who made the differentiation between Kamala, because that was Dion who said she's not a, what you say, Dion, the defender of slaves, what you call it, ADOS? I think that's what
ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery. Okay.
So this African
Barack Obama.
So this African festival, did any of y'all go to it? Courtney, did you go? Oh, Kamara, I know we was doing Wellness Our Way, so you didn't go.
No.
Okay. Nobody went.
Oh, not this year. I went a couple years ago, and I just seen a lot of Africans, and I didn't see many white wives. No, I just saw a lot of Africans.
Okay.
I've been a couple of years. I went the last couple of years, and I remember seeing a lot of mixed kids running around. I noticed it.
That's South Africa.
Africans Like, but you know, something else I noticed, I understand too, though. Like, they more colonized than us.
Way more.
You know
Way
what I'm
more.
saying? They way more colonized than us. Like
apartheid just
it's a
ended
lot of
like 2
ways that
years
they
ago.
look at us, good and bad. You know what I mean? The consciousness of our people here is a lot higher than theirs. I feel like a lot of theirs because they so colonized. Like, you know what I mean? They actually get told and taught not to fuck with us. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I'm on some bullshit. Like somebody, it's okay for people to tell me, like, Kev, why you even had to bring that up? And I don't know who this is. Somebody sends me messages about whenever I say something about Africa, they send me like YouTube things. And then whenever I say something about slavery, I get these. I'm like, who? I don't know who it is. And I got a new phone, so I lost all my
Don't
contacts.
get me wrong. You know what I mean?
So I don't know who it is sending it to me, but a lot of people get upset when I talk about the relationship we have with Native Africans. A lot of people have a problem with it.
I do got a few Native African friends though.
I
You know
fucks
what I
with
mean? And like, yeah, they cool as shit.
A lot of them business oriented and business minded.
Yeah.
Like I be at the hideaway with them shooting pool shit.
Hideaway, yeah, you go to that's their joint, right?
Yeah, man, that Caribbean dish and them jerk chicken egg rolls be slapping.
Everything that I talk about is based off conversations that I've had with them in regards to us. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
But
I used to live off Good Hope. I used to live off on Vera, 39th, 40th and Vera. I can't remember where I used to live. It was on Vera. It was off Good Hope, past the Green Tree joints in that neighborhood over there. So I would stop. Of course, I'm a little inebriated. I'd stop at the gas station before I go home at night. And I would just stand there and talk to this African dude who owned the gas or who worked there. And he basically was saying, like, we get mad at y'all because y'all don't realize what y'all got.
Wasting opportunity.
In my country, I'm a doctor. But over here, I'm working in a gas station. So he was like, these kids, they don't respect me. Like, they come here, they call me African booty scratcher. They steal from me. And he was like, the white people who come here are polite. They are nice to me. They say hello. They ask me how I'm doing. This is my African accent. I had to put it in there, right? Yeah. But so we talked about this more than twice, because I used to go in there. I knew his name, so I would go in there like, "What up, man? How you doing tonight?" "Oh, brother, I'm good." And so we got into a real deep one night, no diddy, a deep conversation about, because I had said we got into it deep. I didn't want to be like, "Damn, Kev,
yeah, that did sound
right." Yeah, what you do to that African, right?
Damn.
What was it?
Right, that was really a guy. No jungle love. No, I'm just saying we just talk. We would talk and converse because he would tell me about his journey, how he ended up here. Because I was like, if you was a doctor over there, why wouldn't you just stay over there and be a doctor? And he's like, well, the conditions over there. So even if I'm a doctor, it's like, it's still hard. Like I'm still gonna be living. My life is gonna be tough. So I'm like, then stop complaining and come over here and enroll in UWM, because I told him, I said, they got like doctor programs here.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, well, I'm thinking about it now, and my wife knows some people. It's like what Kamar just said. They're colonialized over there to the point where they've accepted it. They said, well, this is Senegal. You speak French because the French people conquered you. You see what I'm saying? Like they come over here and they're in the mindset of, why y'all tripping? Go ahead, man. Go what y'all, man. Y'all good. Just stop complaining and shit.
Well, not all Africans are like that. Some of them are still, they know the colonializer and they want independence. All of them ain't like that though. Yeah, some of them have accepted it. I mean, because you got to understand. See, that's the thing. I think a lot of us be missing out on too. This shit been going on for so long though, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like that indoctrination is damn near embedded in your DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to explain to people sometimes. They be like, well, why you be tripping over the white folks, stuff like that? I'll be like, well, your mom was raised in the Midwest. I was raised by my grandfather in 1925. My grandfather was born in 1925. May he rest in peace. I was raised by my grandmother and grandfather. They from Arkansas. So my grandmother and my grandfather they were born into sharecropping. My great grandmother was born, I think, in 18 something. She was like 100 and some years old. So she was a child born right after slavery, but her mother was born into slavery. So that's why I never wanted to interracial date. Like, out of all my 46 years on this earth, I ain't never been with a white woman, Mexican, Chinese, Puerto Rican, none of them, all black, you know, because my grandfather had instilled in me, basically indoctrinated in me that, hey, you stay away from them people. So when he told me stories about the white man, you know, I didn't really understand it as a child growing up, but I had an idea of it. And then when I start getting older and I see the things that have been done to us, and I'm like, wow, you understand what I'm saying? So the thing about it is that we don't clearly, like, we look at life like now how it is. But it wasn't that long ago. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if
that was
you
a
think
long
about
time
it,
ago,
60s,
Dion. That was a very long time ago.
No. The 60s, when those little kids got blew up in Birmingham, Alabama, in that church in 1963, Malcolm got assassinated in 65. I think Kennedy got assassinated in 62.
63.
What's his name? Martin Luther King got assassinated in 68. That wasn't that long ago.
That was a long time ago.
No.
1963? You know it's 2024, right?
I understand that. But it wasn't that long ago for people that went through that and participated in that to still be alive. Look at the woman that said the bullshit about Emmett Till.
Yeah.
Look at the woman that said that bullshit about Emmett Till. She just died not too long ago.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
That was 1955.
So when we sit back and look at some of these things, like with the apartheid that was going on over there in South Africa, with all the colonialization that was going over there in Africa, all that shit, like Britain ruled them motherfuckers to this day, damn near. Like if you look at Jamaica, Togo, some of those little islands out there, those are British colonies. Great Britain, like they money had Queen Elizabeth on there. I don't know if Britain relinquished the control of it and gave them independence, but a lot of those places was yes.
I want to say, first of all, this is a lovely history lesson. I do enjoy history, but I need for you to bring this all together to make a point, because it's just kind of a recital of historical facts and dates. Hold on.
If you gave me a chance,
I'm gonna give you a chance, because the chance been long, right? I'm just saying.
All right.
So, because we eventually got to end up at 2024 America. Yeah. Okay. So, let's bring this home.
So a lot of that stuff been going on for so long that it's embedded and indoctrinated in those people that they still live under those conditions today. To them is normal. You feel what I'm saying? That's just like, take for granted. All of us, me, you, all of us, be like, well, God damn it, if we lived during a Jim Crow era, we'd do like this and do like that. Granted, we might be able to rebel against them monkeys, kill them, but our families will still be in danger. And when you go down south, some of those places, like I go down there, they be like, that's Mr. George. Mr. George would call you a Negro quick. Now, he old as shit, and he probably don't know no better, but he'd be like, nigger this, nigger that. You understand? Because that was the time and the day and age that they used that type of language. So when you say that the Africans are cool with the colonialization, this motherfucker turned in front of me. When you say the Africans are cool with the colonialization, they didn't know nothing else, so it just became a way of life. That's just like, look at what's going on with us. A lot of this shit just became a way of life, but we just accepted it. Like Bull was like, well, what we gonna do? Sometimes we be like, oh, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look what happened to George Floyd. We could have did probably some fucked up shit, told this motherfucker up, did whatever, but we like, oh, well, fuck it. What that nigga do? You know what I'm saying? That's just like, even I had to stop myself today because I was talking to a lady and she told me that was her cousin that happened to. But I'm thinking in my head, because, you know, we live such a free life. The police ain't never stood on my neck. I ain't got shot by the police, so the first thing we do was some bullshit happen. We look at, what that nigga do. But then a lot of times, a lot of that bullshit just become a way of life and we accept it. So now I'm back on track on what we were saying, though. Now you dig it?
I'm trying my best, because you done turned into an orator in this motherfucker. Because when you first came, you was like Big Six to the world blow up. Now he'd be like, see, it's an indoctrination process in which people undergo a psychotrope, and I'm like, damn. I think I get what you're saying. I think you're saying because of a long pattern of certain things and certain circumstances, a lot of us as people have accepted it, and they just used to it, so they're not crying out. And in this, in terms of the Africans, this is where they come from. That's the status quo. So when they get here, they're like, "Yo, like what you tripping for? This is how it is." I get that part. My thing is, I said it earlier. There's always room for some straightening, because any motherfucker who has been like us, who've been indoctrinated even in America, had to go through an unlearning process.
We still indoctrinated.
Not like, because school don't indoctrinate like it used to, real like it did when we were like we talk about on the show. Everything they told us was a lie. Everything, the food pyramid and everything. So if you are aware at our age, you had to go through like a unlearning process. Like, I got to stop thinking that that's based on any kind of truth and try to gain the understanding of some real shit. So I was straightening them out too. Like, okay, brother, I see what you're saying, but you stuck. You stuck back there. You ain't living in fiefdom no more.
I think it's just
not a
levels.
freshwater village in Senegal. This is Milwaukee. This is the north side. Like,
and I think it's just levels to bondage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be funny because a lot of us will look at them and like, damn, they bleach their skin and wear blonde hair. They lost, they indoctrinated. But then there's women here who can't leave out the house without putting somebody else's hair on their head so that they can look presentable. Yeah, put some Indian woman hair on their head and some mink ass on their lashes.
Okay,
so
come on, Miss Short. Courtney, he getting at you. Getting at you and your sister.
That ain't got nothing to do with me because I ain't got none of that stuff going on. So,
but you deal with
about the house just like this. I'd be just fine. So
okay.
But that's what I'm saying. There's levels to that mental bondage. Like I used to have a Nigerian.
Are you bonded because you got a lace front? Are you in bondage because you have a wig? Like, does that make you a slave? Is that
man shit? You talk to some of these people who scared to walk outside with their fro. Ooh, that just looks so unkempt and nappy and unhygienic. Like, they that way about natural hair, they that way about body hair. That there is levels to bondage, you know. So, but like I was saying, I had a woman I used to kick it with. She was Nigerian, or she's still Nigerian because she's still alive.
she was Nigerian. Supposed to start fucking with me. Now she off her line.
But no, she told me, because we used to always chop it up about her pops, because he had 2 full-time jobs, and I couldn't understand how somebody had time to have 2 full-time jobs. You know, but he just so happy that he can work, make his money, keep his money. She was like, he don't have to walk miles to get to. You know, like I had a homie I used to work with from Sierra Leone, and he actually ended up here. The rest of his siblings ended up in England, but both his parents were killed in that shit that's going on. But he was like, you know, I want to go back to Africa, start a logistics company. He was like, because it might be one truck that got to go miles to. It might be a store miles apart. He was like, and you know, they just need more logistics there. So again, what she told me was her father didn't really like her talking to American dudes, but she was like, but you different. You know, you keep a good job, you family oriented, you business oriented. She was like, his main issue with a lot of American black men are that they take their opportunities for granted. She like that he feel like if you ain't in jail,
buffing floors really an opportunity. Like, you just hold on, you just, and this is what partially what happens. What? If you've worked a job before, and there's, let's say, this African dude that works there, right? He mops the floors, right? But he's like you said, he's damn happy that he can mop. And when I get there, what I see is this navy blue brother who, no matter what white folks say and do, he just smiling on the floor, mopping the floor. Hello. And they're like, oh, hi, Joffrey.
Hello. He can drive to work now. He ain't got to walk barefoot.
I'm saying the way I'm seeing it. The way I'm seeing it. I'm saying, look at this motherfucking stepping fetching ass dude smiling all the goddamn time. And these cynical ass white people coming up. And you know they don't give a shit about him. Like Dion said, they're, oh, Joffrey, how's your kids? All 12 are fine. He has 12 children. Can you believe it? And he hello. But when he see me, he don't. What up, Nick? Like, whoa, Joffrey, until I get to know him, he ain't fucking with me. But don't let Mr. Kozlowski come by. Hello. Like, and I'll be like, oh, see, that's why I don't fuck with y'all. So he don't take the time to explain. In my country, I would not have been allowed to buff the floor and keep the money. Like, if he just explained it to me and said, I'm happy all the time like this because where I'm from, just to have a job is you know, it's something that you don't. It's not a given. I look at him like a sambo dancer.
My niggas gotta explain it to you though.
Well, you
Right.
You
You got to explain the situation to you.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it has to explain it. Because it's different rules in our country, especially for black people.
You have to explain to you why.
Let me finish. I'm gonna tell you why. You as a buck dancer, you as a stepper, you make it harder for me. It's a different.
I gotta explain nothing to you
I'm
because
smiling.
We don't, but you know what? He can continue to be that. He can continue to be that sambo.
I'm working my way up.
He's hurting me because now they're gonna try to treat me like they treat him, and I'm not playing that shit. Because this is America. This ain't Botswana.
If he's explaining it to you, ain't gonna change nothing.
Well, at least me and him can build a relationship. At least I can say, okay, he ain't no sambo. He with us.
See, but that's the thing. Like what I was educated on by my homie from Texas, in they onboard and citizenship shit, they're basically showed the same shit that white people are showed. Mm-hmm. Black people are a problem. If you hang out with them not being a citizen, you're going back to Africa. If they break the law, you next to them, you're going back to Africa. So a lot of them don't fuck with us out of fear that we gonna do some stupid shit. I'm at work. And they get sent back to that destitute situation they had to bust their ass to get out of.
Because I've heard about that video a couple.
Yeah, she told me, she like they my father was told black people are trouble. You know, they lazy. They don't take advantage of these opportunities. If you in the car with one, they get pulled over and they on some bullshit. You going back to Africa because you associating with them.
I'm in a higher position than you in the company. How you gonna get a felony fucking with me?
That's
I'm in the office. It's wrong. It's wrong.
People are lied to, and even I believe a lot of white people look at us.
Why we giving them grace? They was lied to. So you see me every day, and instead of getting some understanding, you just go with the lie, and you see me every day, and you just accept the lie. So
everywhere I've met an African, they always love me. So I mean, maybe it's the militantness of you because shit. Every time, oh hey Darrell, my friend, like they always my friend. You are just. What are you doing? You chilling right now? You chilling? They always love because I guess they don't say chilling over there.
That's what you're trying to say.
Every time you see me, it's like I'm chilling.
Grace, Kev.
What you say, Courtney?
Did you give the smiling nigga grace? You talking about we giving them grace, saying that they didn't know and they didn't understand? Shit, did you give the smiling nigga that was buffing the floor some goddamn grace? No,
actually, hold on.
You didn't say nothing.
Actually, I do. Because I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how I do it. Because I'm not just gonna see you every day and just live off assumptions. I'm gonna say something to you one day. How you doing, man? What's going on with you? The reaction that I get right then and there is what I judge you off of moving forward. That's why I said right then and there is like me and the dude in the gas station. What's going on with you, brother? We conversed. We got an understanding of our perspectives. If we don't, there's no solidarity to be built. Now, the reality is sometimes them dudes, those people, and it's funny that y'all say they told that we're going to get them in trouble. Because I went to school with Kenyans and Nigerians. We were in college together. So it wasn't about me you won't get a felony fucking with him in English. We was all there for the same purpose, and they knew that there was no threat, and they still didn't fuck with us. And they told us they felt like we weren't them. We were in their country. We weren't considered African. That came from several of them who told me that you're not considered African in my country.
You're American.
Okay, you ain't American in mine. Then, if it's fuck me, it's fuck you too. I didn't say I was 100% correct. I'm just telling you how I feel.
I wouldn't consider myself African in their country. I'm American. Shit, like I
you African over here, but not over there.
I call myself black, but even with that, I'll be dead ass wrong if I told you that there wasn't Dutch motherfuckers in my bloodline. If there wasn't native, indigenous, you know what I'm saying?
I can't see the Dutch.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, so for me to be like I'm African, it's like shit. I negate all the other shit that contribute to me. Now I tell you I'm black and I try to ride with the black cause as long as it's logical. I'm not one of them motherfuckers that's just gonna ride with black for the sake of being black. It gotta make sense to me. I don't give blind loyalty.
Yeah.
Explain to me why the fuck we busting this move, otherwise fuck you.
I ain't gotta explain shit to you. Ain't that what y'all just told me?
Hey,
Fuck you.
and
I ain't
then
gotta explain shit to you.
Go ahead and bust your
Well,
move.
if
Don't
you
look
talking
at
about
me
busting the
to
move,
be a part
whether
of.
you talk, well, see, the difference is real talking about busting the move, and we just talking about the way a motherfucker act on a job.
Right.
Be a coon then. You have more than you.
A coon, see, and coons ain't required to explain shit
Right.
to
Well,
you.
well, stay a Sambo. Look, it's your decision. You did this to yourself. Like
They don't even know. Hey, and they don't even know what a Sambo is.
I will explain it to them. They wonder why they get treated. I tell you what, they know they get treated a certain way. They know that motherfucker talk to them a certain way. They know, well, they should know. I don't think they believe it because they be too busy smiling. But hello.
But that only don't go for Africans though. That go for Jamaicans, Haitians, people from what you call that Cuba, Afro-Cuban, people from Brazil. A lot of them feel like they have no commonality with us though. And that's
Jamaicans usually ain't like that though. Jamaicans are usually just the ones who would be like, goddamn, rise clad white man. Like they are. I never hardly see a Sambo, a buck dancing Jamaican. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying I haven't seen a whole lot of them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, each and every last one of us have
Hold on, Dion. I can't hear Courtney. Hold on, Dion. I can't hear Courtney. Go ahead, Courtney.
Seeing Keanu Reeves gonna play Bob Marley. You seeing that?
Why would Keanu Reeves play Bob
that
Marley?
Was AI, man.
Go ahead and look that up, man.
That was like AI or something. Keanu Reeves with the locks.
I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not. We got another caller. We got another caller. Hold on, let me merge this. I think we got everybody now. Caller, what's going on?
What's up, Kev? Vince.
Vince, what it do, man? What it do?
Peace.
Not too bad, man. How you guys doing?
We are doing fabulous. What's happening with you?
I was listening to the conversation about us and Africans. I've been on a mission for the last year or so, trying every African I meet, I try to get information from them about who we are and who they think we are and where we came from. You get some very interesting answers. I think I talked to an elder African. I can't remember where he's from, but he was saying that, where he's from and his people, they're conquerors. I talked to a Nigerian, and he also talked about conquerors and how they conquered each other in Africa. And talking to different Africans, getting different information to find out, who we are. I think I've taken a milder approach versus the adversarial approach of trying, be saying that, the gist of it is they don't like us and we don't like them. Well, I'm trying to find common ground so I can find out more about what they think about us, because we're not really, we really don't know. There may be information out there that tells us who we are, but to get it from and start talking to some of our African brothers has been very enlightening for me over the last few months that I've met them. And as I continue to meet them, I'm going to continue to question them and see what their opinion is about who we are and where we came from. So it's been pretty much some of the same thing when it comes to the conquering part and the tribes and how they operated in Africa before and after slavery and how all of that came about. So I'm still gathering and learning a whole heck of a lot about it. And my ultimate goal is to find out not exactly, but as close as I possibly can, find out who I am. And I'm also reading materials that was written about Christianity of the Negro and things of that nature that also tells me who I am and who we are and why we roll like we roll today with the churches and everything else that goes on. And also reading into the African history about our ancestors and who they are and where they are from a spiritual perspective and, and a communication perspective. It's pretty enlightening to look at and see the different dimensions and how we worship and how they took what we did when they enslaved us, when they hurt us out in the houses, what they would call chanting or making noises. We were praying to our gods, and how they stripped us completely of that. And my goal for me personally is to get back to the whatever they did, if it's chanting or whatever you want to call it, from a natural perspective of who we are. And it's been very enlightening, and it's been a huge growth process for me to understand from a Caucasoid perspective and from an Afrocentric perspective.
Let me say this. First of all, I see Ewok. I don't want to, because people be mad at me like, he's doing my comment in the chat room. He said Trump literally got people changing his diapers and nobody's saying shit about it, right? Well, Trump is old too, so I don't know how long they think he's gonna keep computing. His computer gonna stop computing pretty soon. But I wanted to say this. This show is therapeutic for me a lot of times. It is, because I'm an asshole, and I can admit that. But what if I don't give a shit? What if I don't give a shit about where they came from and what they've been through? What if I only care about where Black Americans are right now in 2024? Because I do understand all of this history. But what if me as an individual, and I'm just asking this question for myself, I don't really care. I'm American. I was born in America. My forefathers were born for generations back. We would have to go a very, very, very long way back to slavery, not because my family weren't slaves, but my family, to Africa, I should say, not because we're not from Africa, but my forefathers were slaves for so long in this country. We would have to go way back to find the African part of it. We've been Americanized through that experience. I heard Deon talking about his my parents were sharecroppers in the 50s and the 40s in Mississippi. So my grandmother was born right after slavery. So I'm a little bit closer to it generationally than he is. And I don't wake up in the morning feeling like a slave. I don't wake up in the morning feeling the angst of my forefather waking up chained in a shack. I don't feel that. I don't. So that don't mean I'm not still with, because we don't want to revisit the whole "Are we free" conversation. I'm just saying at this point, I don't really care about them because they haven't shown me that they care about me. And if you don't consider me African because of, you're right, I'm American. And when I say to people, there's only Black people in America. Anywhere else you go, you are from where you're from. I'm Botswanan, I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian, the Greek free. I'm from Greece. Ain't you from Nigeria? There ain't no Black people in England unless they came from America. So that's kind of like my asshole perspective on it. And people say it's bad, Kev. How can you say you love us and you don't give a damn about Africa? I don't. I'm just being honest.
Well, yeah, because I think, throughout my travels and some of the things that I've learned from people, even Americans that live in different countries, and why they won't come back because of the things and the knowledge that they've learned about, who we are and who they are. And, even when I was in Guam, the Guamanians, anybody that's been colonized, or even they're not saying fuck the Guamanians or fuck the Chamorros, which they are. They've been named Guamanians, but they're actually Chamorros. And they're putting together a museum. One person is putting together a museum of their history of who they are, because everything has been buried. So people want to know who they are. The European Americans, the Irish Americans, the whatever, they have something, but we don't have anything.
Who I am,
who are we? So
I know who I am.
I'm not an African American.
I'm not an African American either. I'm an American.
Yeah, and people throughout the world don't see this as America. They look at this country as a corporation. They don't look at it as anything other than that.
Mm-hmm. They move over here.
Pardon me?
And then they want to move over here after they criticize it. No, then they move their ass over here and drive a cab.
You wouldn't believe how many people say fuck that country. They don't want to come over here.
They can't get no passport. I'm fucking with you, Vince. How do y'all feel? How do y'all feel? Because that's my take on it. But of course, this is Outlaw Radio, where everybody is their own.
I feel tribalism happens everywhere. even what was it? 1660? Man, I can't remember the year, but basically, it was a pope that basically made black and white. You know what I'm saying? And that was to justify the enslavement and transatlantic shipment of darker skinned people. But before that, even slaves were all colors. Like we get the word slave from Slavic. So that was because back in the day, the Caucasus people used to sell their daughters and children into slavery to make money. So that the word slave is Slavic because this black and white shit didn't exist. Like even like white people, when they in America, they white, but otherwise the British, what is it? The British people, the Saxons don't like the Welsh, the
They
Irish
ain't
don't like
American.
the
And
Italian.
American is us. They're not real Americans. White people over here ain't real Americans. They German, they're French, they're Polish,
They
they're
still have an ethnicity to tie this a culture to tie themselves to.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the Africans who come over here, they still have a culture to tie themselves to. I mean, a lot of us don't because of the
we
shit
got a
that
powerful
happened.
culture to tie ourselves to.
Right,
It was
but that's
real
what I'm saying.
culture
So
in
that black and
Mississippi.
white shit was just a chess move. Because otherwise, tribalism exists everywhere. There's Irish people still fucking.
I think it's good. I think it's good to know about where you come from, where your people come from. You know what I mean? Because see, we need to understand traditions. You know, if we didn't understand where our people come from, we wouldn't even understand health. We wouldn't have knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot we wouldn't have if we didn't understand where we come from and didn't take that. Now, I feel like there's certain stuff that we need to understand from where we come from that we need to carry over to now because it can be beneficial as far as a lot of the different self-care techniques and stuff like that, meditations, eating better, learning different health techniques, and you know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that, where we can learn from where we come from, our people.
Even with that, though, unfortunately, because of the indoctrination that a lot of us still have, if an African person came fresh off the boat trying to show a black person African spirituality, they gonna run for the hills talking about that's witchcraft and demonic.
What they running for instead of saying, get the fuck out of my face?
But I'm saying, like,
Because
even
they
with that,
scared.
if they try to share culture with us, a lot of us look down on the culture that they might try to share on us because it's like, oh no, we civilized now, we Christians now. I don't, you know, so
right. It's
so
like they
like
made
I
our
said, it's
culture
tribalism,
demonic.
man.
They made us not even want to know about it.
Right.
Exactly.
And also we gotta understand though that slavery decimated Africa though. They still recovering from that shit. You understand what I'm saying? It just see that's where sometimes it, you know, unless we understand the history, and I know Kev, you hate that, but it all
You just
still it gotta
please
start.
Don't do another history class, please. Please don't do. I don't want homework.
Seriously,
I don't want homework.
it gotta start somewhere. And a lot of in Africa and people over there in Africa, they're still suffering from this shit that happened over here. So a lot of times we look at it like, fuck them. That's just like with voodoo, you know, ancient African spiritual religion. Certain, like Kamar was saying, certain herbs and things that people will try that came from over there that we don't try to embrace it because we like, oh, fuck that shit. So, you know, I mean, the indoctrination run deep, man. That's why when I be saying that slavery fucked us up, man, you know, and I mean, it just fucked us up.
Here we go. Courtney, I ask everybody, do you give a fuck about Africa? Nobody's even answered the question. I'm going to give you a swing at it. Do you give a fuck about Africa now?
I just answered it.
Right now,
I answered that.
I would say no, but maybe I should a little bit. You know, most time we don't be giving a fuck about them and what they got going on and where they.
I give a fuck.
Like we travel, you know, sometimes they be talking about their history and where they came from and their family, how I go back. And I know a lot of times when I look at my family personally, going up that back the family tree, most of the time you start getting more Native American-ish. You don't get African, but as we go to my great granny, their parents, everybody is more Native, more Indian, more Native American. You know what I'm saying? So it's more so trying to find out that history of right here and who was here before the colonization. But then, like everyone keeps saying, it comes to the point of voodoo. Like my granny used to practice voodoo. So even with a lot of our family looking Native American-ish, that voodoo portion came from somewhere, the African part. So, yeah. Yeah, so maybe we do need to know a little bit about them to find out about us.
I didn't say we didn't need to know about them. I said the knowledge was handy. I said it's cool to understand what they say are our origins, because you just touched on the fact that a lot of them say that the Native Americans were actually Africans because of when it was all connected, right?
And I think that as well. I definitely think about that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
where they migrated from and how they
I
moved
think
around.
all three of us saying we care about it because of these reasons. These are different reasons we care about it.
what I said is I don't care about them right now in 2024. I'm more worried about what the hell is. I'm more worried that we still got teenagers being murdered in this city. I'm more worried that we still got car crashes, 14-year-olds out of control. I'm more worried that there's no economic development plan for my community in the city of Milwaukee. I'm more worried about the homicide than I am about what's going on in Africa. Like, I don't get up every morning and be like, let me see the latest happenings. And some people do. God bless their hearts. I said I don't. I get up and I'm trying to what happened in the community last night. Like, what's going on? Like, Kamar, you said early in the show, what are we gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm focused on that. I'm not really taking the time to go back and revisit stuff I read in 5th grade about, oh my God, like this is where our people come from on the Gold Coast of Africa. And this is how they divvied up the. I know all of that. I don't have to keep regurgitating it for the next 50 years of my life.
Just because you don't care.
I think Kevin, I thought I heard you say earlier, or someone say something about unlearning. And if we look back to everything that we learned from them came from material that they presented to us and for us. And everything from grade school to high school to whatever is a lie. So how do we unlearn the lies to understand the truth?
I can tell you how I unlearned it. I unlearned it by reading the real. So I went to the library and went through the books and read. Phillips School wasn't providing the information that I needed to know about who we were in this country historically. I went to the library. I went and got books by Black authors that gave you a real representation and presentation of the knowledge. That's what I mean by unlearning, by learning something that's valid versus something that's invalid.
I got books that's not even in the library.
So then that's how you unlearn, by taking in that information. You bucking that information. So when you say I don't mean just go blank. I don't mean wake up one morning with an empty, erased mind and be like, oh, I got to go look up the word black because I don't know what that means. I'm saying you shoot down those false narratives. Like Kamar talks about what you have to have in terms of minerals and all these kinds of things to benefit your body. So every time I hear that, I unlearned a part of that pyramid. Oh, that shit really ain't good for you. I didn't know that because that's what they taught us. I replaced it with something that was more valid. Like even we talked about being lactose intolerant. I will tear some cheese ass up, right? I still love cheese. You're not really supposed to eat that shit. But they told you when we was little, dairy products are. I'm drinking milk now. I'm a grow. Milk promotes calcium in your bones and makes your bones stronger. Whole time you ain't supposed to been drinking it. So I unlearned that stuff by getting the truth. Now, I'm not expecting nobody else to walk around saying fuck Africa except for myself. Like that's just me. Like I don't feel like it's like a uninformed state of mind. I feel like that we got to start being worried about one thing at a time. We worrying about what's going on in Africa, and we ain't even got figured out what's going on in Milwaukee yet. Like, so I think you got to take it one step at a time.
What's going on in Milwaukee? It's easy to figure out what's going on in Milwaukee. There's only one thing that's going on in Milwaukee. Most of the people here that are benefiting is at the expense of our kids. The school system. If you look at everybody here, the daycares, the running rebels. It's all about people of our culture who consider themselves somebody and who's profiting off a non-profit for themselves, and it's taken away from our children. So that's why our kids don't give a fuck, because we don't give a fuck about them. We're just a dollar bill for them. Why would they give a fuck?
Twerking on Water Street.
You said what was going on Water Street?
And they was twerking.
They was twerking on Water Street.
Who was twerking on Water Street?
I think they shut down the whole street or something.
Well, you ain't hear about that? Hell yeah, they shut down the whole street.
The twerkers did. The twerkers shut it down. This is what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so like you were saying, even if we had an economic solution, I mean, Man, shit, without getting people mind right, money don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Like, you get them money, like,
Exactly.
motherfuckers just gonna get more
I'm gonna go
guns
get a
and
Cadillac.
faster cars and keep on killing themselves even faster until they get some sort of knowledge to give them a sense of self-pride. And like I think one of the worst things that ever happened to us was shame left. You know what I'm saying? Like I conducted my life all throughout my childhood to not bring shame on my family, because my family, my parents are somebody I aspired to make proud. My grandmama was somebody I wanted to make proud. I mean, when kids nowadays, they parent is in jail or they parent is fucked up and they the parent type shit, they ain't got nobody to aspire to be like. So I think what happened is parents lower standards, and there's no shame, there's no wanting to make anybody proud, because they either might not be around or they might be around and worse off than a child.
I wanted to make my mother proud. It mattered, but I still did a bunch of shit she wouldn't have been proud of, and I did it proudly. See how I just did that?
And there's those people too.
I
I was saying the other day, all my children have had their father in their life, their whole life. But when they go to school and around bum ass kids for 8 hours a day, when in Rome, do as the Romans
calling
do.
bums? Who kids you calling bums?
Man, whoever kids is doing the dumb shit.
Is a bum.
Speaking of bum, it's a whole bum ass culture with
to
these
be
kids.
in the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, some kids scared to be the square, because that could potentially come with violence nowadays.
Kamar, because Deion already said they didn't twerked up Water Street. Now, what you talking about with the bum culture? What's this
the whole bum ass culture, a bum and hooker culture.
Damn.
Young niggas they got a bum ass culture. They ain't really trying to get no money. They just talking about it. They stealing cars instead of trying to get their own cars. You know what I mean? They all trying to connive and get shit. They all lying. Ain't nobody holding accountability for nothing. Right. They on drugs, all kind of drugs, and they proud of this shit. You know what I mean? It's a whole bum ass culture. And then the women, you can't mess with me unless you paying my bills. It's a whole hooker ass culture right now going on with these young folks, man.
Growing up, the worst thing a motherfucker could call you was shiesty, because it made it to where nobody wanted to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Now
because shiesty meant you would rob your mama, kill your brother. You know, that's what shiesty meant to us. So that was like the worst thing you could call a motherfucker. Now motherfuckers got that in their name.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Now it's something to be proud of.
Slime and all that shit. Like, I mean, you know, not savage.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They're priding themselves into embodying the ignorant label that somebody else put on them. And that's where the education got to come in, to show them, no, you ain't a savage. Right. That mean an uncivilized motherfucker who is brutish and gives into violence. Of course, you gonna do that dumb shit. You call yourself that.
When you look at some of their records, when they get arrested, some of them are savages. I think perhaps the fact that we don't call it what it really is probably kind of keeping the problem from really being taken care of, because we need to look at some of these kids and say, now you don't have to be, but at this point, you are an absolute savage. All your behavior is antisocial. You're egregious against your own community. You're absolutely a savage. That's what you are. You're just a young man.
And they actually visualizing themselves.
Hold on, Vince. Hold on. Let me get Kamar, because he had put his hand up like we was.
I was just saying, you know, and they actually visualizing themselves that. You know what I mean? So the first thing is to get them to stop thinking like that.
Right.
To get them out of that mindset, because it's a whole mindset way of living. If I'm a savage, I got to do whatever the fuck I got to do to get me something to eat, and I'm willing to do it.
But at that point, you are indeed a savage, though.
You know what I mean? So we got to get out of that mindset. So it's like, how do we get them out of that mindset?
Let me ask you this.
Again, what do we do next?
Let me ask you this. But at that point in time, they are indeed a savage. So you have to call it what it is. Well, you are a savage, right? I agree.
I would say you're acting savage. I don't like calling people, like, I never call kids like, you stupid, you dumb, you bad. You're acting bad. And this is the things that, because you don't want to put a label on somebody, because that gets in their subconscious.
But look at this. Okay,
that's what I was getting at, real right there.
Argument is the kid who done the shooting, when they had the brothers had the thing after Juneteenth, then they had the gathering, right?
Okay.
That young man had already been convicted for shooting at some people. He came there, got out of jail, went there, and did the same thing. He wasn't acting bad. He was a savage. He was absolutely a savage. Now, I'm not saying it ain't no way out for him. I'm not saying it ain't no restitution. What I'm saying is, at that exact moment, you got to look at him and say, that little motherfucker's a savage. He's
that's the
in a
culture stuff.
Tutsi village fighting for a warlord.
I think we could start with changing our words. Like, I hate when I hear people who call Milwaukee Murder Mill or Killwalkie. I would never call this shit that, because that ain't no place I want to live. So I'm not gonna speak that shit. I want it to be a loving, unified place where my kids can grow and thrive.
Love walkie.
Right.
So yeah, because words have power. If you, I'm from Murder Mill, now that's like I have to take on this attitude to survive in this place.
Right.
So now that may make you more inclined to be a savage, because hey, this is what's expected from a motherfucker from Killwalkie type shit. So I think one of the first things we can do is change our words and understand words have power, and education is very powerful. When you educate somebody and give them a
hold on, Vince, let me get you
a sense of self-pride, now they don't have to do dumb shit to be accepted by the crowd, because their validation doesn't come from the crowd.
Right.
Okay, Vince, you want to jump in here? I want to make sure everybody get heard before we cut the machine off.
I think, you know, since the word has been used, savage, I think without savages, we wouldn't need your running rebels, your Office of Violence Prevention, your 414 Life, your all these other social service organizations that are profiting off of what we call savages. If you change the savagery, because this is the way of life of a lot of people in this city. They're making bank off this. I mean, you got Ashante Hamilton. He's running $17 million. What's the difference of that and Posley and what he's doing in the school system? It's all about creating a group of kids, for lack of a better word that we use, a group of savages, so we can create these organizations and we can spend money and pay people money to keep these organizations going. Without these kids and these bad behaviors, we don't have those organizations, and people have to come out and create jobs in our community, create businesses.
Vince, let me ask you a quick question though. Why do we complain because there are people who making millions off of the crime of the youth, when we got, for years, the Department of Correction has made millions off the adults? Like that's
two different things.
Well, I mean, it's still them profiting off of our dysfunction, right? Because we know a lot of adult prisoners who've been, those cats who really doing hard time, they are absolutely savages themselves. Like, and I think admittedly they'd admit, I'm a savage because I have to survive in here. So, I mean, we can point out that there's organizations to deal with youth and crime, but there's also organizations that make millions that deal with adults, like the probation system. That's the biggest ripoff in the world.
So, we have to get to the point where in our community that we're taking care of the children and the young people, and all these systems we have, child protective services, this, that, and the other, and the things that they do to our children and our families to break us apart. I mean, we've been in them and I've seen it. And until we can reverse some of that that's going on, because everything is created around bad behavior. So when we can get back, and nobody's going, so the last couple of weeks, Running Rebels had a basketball thing. Yesterday they had a basketball thing somewhere. And the thing about it is what they're doing at these games is they're selling to vendors. They have vendors coming out. And I think the one they had yesterday, if you were older than 5, you had to pay. So what I say that we need to do, all of these organizations and community organizations that we have that are out there making money, then tell us exactly how the money is being spent. Where is it going, and how does this benefit our children? Because if we look at it, I mean, we've had Heal the Hood, we've had Running Rebels, we've had all these organizations, but nothing's changed. I've heard kids that come out of some of their systems and they said, hey, the minute that I turned 18, all of these organizations, they say, fuck you. And they said, I'm 10 toes down with the street now. You've held me just to make a profit off of me. Now I'm 18 years old. You say, fuck me. Fuck you too. I'm going out here and wreak havoc. I'm going to be the savage that you say that I should be, and I'm going to wind up in prison. That's some of the kids that I've talked to that are young adults now.
Courtney, you laid back, but are these kids savages? These kill boys, these repeat offenders who are habitual line steppers who go and rob and shoot up some and then get out on with a bracelet, cut the bracelet off, go do the same thing for a week, 2 weeks on a crime spree, and people finally until somebody gets murdered or they get apprehended or they die themselves. Are they savages or are these just kids who just need a little love?
God damn it, Kev. There you go with that shit. Always. But yeah, I mean, here in Milwaukee, I mean, I could say here where we are, it's a lot of mental issues and a lot of parents that I feel like have fostered these mental issues, just getting that SSI check, not really giving a fuck. And they have created a savage environment with their children by not caring and just giving their little meds and letting music or TV raise them. So yeah, we do have a lot of goddamn savages around here. A lot of folks that don't give a fuck. They don't care about you, me, themselves. Yeah, that's why.
They ain't all kids. Some of these adults are savages, but we need to go ahead and make that move, get this master lock building taken care of, get this wall built around it. And I know y'all gonna leave this show tonight like this motherfucker said, fuck Africa and turn master lock into a youth prison. I sure the fuck did. Yes,
you can't forget the lead pipe laterals that's contributing to cognitive issues. You know, it's a lot of chips stacked up against motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody excuses like assholes.
I think
everybody got one.
The way I look at it, Kev, is that we have a lot of we say just because they're 18 we call them an adult, but they're not adults. We've had kids for I don't know how many years, 4 or 5 decades. I've been raising kids, and a lot of this stuff that you see out in the streets now are kids being. They're adult age, but they're being kids because they've never been a kid. Because when they were supposed to be children, they were in these households that were dysfunctional, and they were being the parents. So now they turn 18 and they get out in these streets. They're still kids. They've never grown up. They never had a chance to be a kid.
Yeah, well, you're gonna learn today, because just because you didn't get it, don't mean you get to fuck my day up. So we're gonna take this building, and we're gonna make you be able to see the hood from your prison room. And can't get to it, and can't nobody from there get to you because it's gonna be a big ass wall between you. Because I can show you better than I can tell you. And like you admitted, the social service shit, and I worked in juvenile social service. You're right. It's some of that some bullshit. You're making them worse. And I worked for St. Charles Residential Treatment, teenage adjudicated felons. And I don't know how many of them died soon after leaving or went to jail and got a football number and did grown man time. What we should have been doing then is locking their ass up, showing them that there's a consequence for your behavior. Now, let me catch, because Mama Jenkins is in the chat room. She said speak truths, but she also stated, and she's wasn't necessarily talking to me. I'm just reading her comment. She said no accountability. They are just stupid. They like tags across their chest and a tag on their toe. She said they label themselves with a number instead of their government name. That's the youth. Nobody really has the answer because everything we've tried has not worked with our kids, and we see it's getting progressively worse. What I'm saying is it's time for some tough love.
Do you think if they did put let's say they put Master Lock as a correctional facility and start putting because then you were saying like it'll bring jobs to the hood.
That's right.
So if you think if the prison came to the hood and the COs from the hood, do you think it'll only be a matter of time before COs trafficking shit? And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's the CO. They're not going. They might be from the hood, but you still got to vet your candidates. You ain't just hiring Boudreaux them with no qualifications.
COs probably up north trafficking shit.
Well, that too.
Yeah. You know, money is gonna always cause certain behavior.
I can tell you one real. That's a good question.
Pregnant, all of that shit.
That's a good question, but I can tell you one surefire way, 100% way you won't be involved in this. Don't take your ass to jail. Boycott the prison. Sit your ass down somewhere, or go in there and risk being trafficked or screwed.
What about the workers? They taking their ass to jail to be a CO, but now they saying, "Hey, somebody told me if I bring up in here, I get this on the back end." Like, you know what I'm saying? Money is money.
That's what I'm saying. Real.
So are you not gonna do it because What if the COs start acting bad? Like, what? That's not a reason to not do it.
I'm just asking, do you think that'll happen? Because I mean, my mindset is shit. Money is money.
It will happen, real. It will happen. We see it happen every day. It's in the middle of the hood. That's close to niggas' cribs. All the black COs working there. We got
my cousin, one of the COs. I'm gonna have him bring me a phone.
Yeah, they bring
And you know what? If
get
his ass get caught, he can go up there to Waupun where they dying at. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I'm not saying all the COs have to be from the hood. I'm not saying that either. Once again, you have to vet your candidates. You have to get the best qualified people. If our people want to get those jobs, we have to come ready to be able to get them and do them. You're not just gonna ride through the hood like, hey man, you want to be a prison guard? For sure. Come on.
They
like,
be fucking inmates and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, we know that. You gotta get
it be qualified people, Kev.
This would be a part of the Department of Corrections. No, you ain't just letting everybody, man. Like, I just dropped out of high school. I'm finna just go be a CO. No, that's
how they do up north.
I mean, it kind of is like that.
Hey, that's how they do up north.
Don't do
the last time they was hiring. You didn't really need that many qualifications. Just not.
You need a high school diploma to be a CO.
Hey, now really, they probably.
Yes,
they probably make it a lot harder for us to be COs. But I do know up north, they do hire them right out of high school.
If they graduate, he don't drop out and go get hired.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right out of high. That's what I meant by right out of high school.
Anybody in the hood kind of can get that job. Plenty of motherfuckers got a diploma. I know plenty of motherfuckers that COs. I know plenty of niggas that was in the army that was COs, and then they was sneaking shit in. Like, there's gonna be plenty qualified candidates that's on that bullshit.
Once again, what I'm hearing is don't do nothing because the COs might be bad.
No, I'm just asking you think that's
a wild
good
time,
possibility.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's gonna be just as wild as any other prison. And once again, if you don't want to go through that experience, sit your ass down somewhere. Stop stealing people's shit. Stop shooting people. Stop driving 95 down with a spare on your car and it's stolen, and you done snatched that from some old lady, and you hitting another car full of innocent people. You're a savage. Go there. If I drop your ass off in the middle of the jungle, I'm dropping you off in the jungle. The lions and the tigers and shit ain't gonna be like, oh, he don't deserve this. They gonna be like, lunch. You finna eat that motherfucker. This is the jungle, nigga. That's what happens when you get dropped off in the jungle. The fuck the shark gonna say? You lucky I'm gonna let you live this time. Because I could have swam up to you and bit this. No, he bite the shit. You see white people in Florida and California. Oh, God. They out there on surfboards and shit. Shark, holler. You get, when you go where that's at, that's what you get. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not a bleeding heart, right? If that gets out of control with COs, then the Department of Corrections, you have to handle that. You know, and we know in prison what don't go on in prison. I be seeing some shit on the internet. I'm like, what? Really? They doing that? Casby prison is something different now. Like it's something different. I'm like, they be having parties, and I was like, damn.
Wisconsin prisons ain't like that, bro.
Okay,
that's down south.
Yeah.
Down south, they ain't paying no money down there, so you can have motherfuckers sneak cell phones in, pounds of weed and all that. I tell people all the time, Wisconsin got one of the safest prisons you could be in.
Okay,
I ain't gonna even lie to you.
So do you think the Master Lock prison would work then, Dion? Since you've been in there, not to put you out there like that, but
I don't think you could turn Master. Because we got a minimum security prison on Fond du Lac. I don't think you could turn Master Lock into a maximum security prison. You probably could turn it to a medium security prison. But I have to really look at Master Lock and be like, look at it and be like, if you did turn it to a prison, it'd be like MSDF. With MSDF, Milwaukee Secure Detention Facility, it's a prison inside a prison. So they won't come outside. They just in the building. They won't know what day it is. I don't know. Yeah, they probably could do a Master Lock like that.
Yeah,
in Milwaukee Secure Detention Facility, Detention Facility, you don't know what day it is. Like, because you talk to people with shit, but you don't know what time it is outside. You can't look outside and see shit. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a building inside a building. But, yeah, they probably could do Master Lock like that, though. But, that's another thing.
This is a $100 billion investment. So it's not gonna be a cheap project, Dion. They're gonna invest hundreds of millions in this, or they should. to make this a real secure
I'm about
facility.
to. Hey, but check it out though, and that's another thing. I'm gonna let y'all go and finish listening because I know you about to get off in a minute. That's another thing with Project 2025. They talking about putting people in internment camps. And if you watch The Boys, because I heard you talking about The Boys, it was on Amazon.
I love
They
The
had
Boys.
they had a little they had a little segment on there.
Did you see
and a lot
that
of these
shit?
private
Did you see that
a
shit?
lot of these private
Oh,
a
my
lot of
God.
these privately owned prisons, because back in the days Stanley was a private owned prison, Red Granite was, New Lisbon. They allowed people to come up in here, build these prisons. This when Governor Tommy Thompson was still in office. Build these prisons, and assuming that the prison beds was gonna get filled, Wisconsin ended up buying these prisons. So think about it. It's a lot of privately owned prisons around the country that ain't got inmates in there. What they gonna do with it? They might turn it to internment camps if this 2025 come on. So motherfuckers better watch out for this shit. But I love y'all as always, man. Y'all near and dear to my heart. It's good to see old Armpit Courtney on here. She keep on having her arms up. Love you, Vince. Love the knowledge you drop. Thanks, Real. I appreciate for what you did. Thanks, Kev, for the platform. Bull, you know you my nigga from Ham House to now.
Peace.
And I'll holler at y'all Wednesday. I love y'all, man. I love y'all.
Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
watched The Boys, and what he's talking about. And see, first of all,
FEMA
like,
camps.
yeah, you got to be a glutton for punishment if you watch The Boys, right? Because it's one of the most grotesque and foul shows that you will ever see, and they pride themselves on the gore and the whole just kind of like, what the fuck just happened? And so there's a segment in which, and it's a play on superheroes, and so this Batman type character, because they make, kind of fun of each character that people love, and the Batman character dude, he says, I come from a long line of slave catchers. This is what he's telling the black dude, that he's the black dude superhero. He's like, my family historically were the top slave catchers in the nation. We prided ourselves on we can find them. If they get loose, we can get them back and get them to you. And then he said, once slavery was abolished, we moved into private prisons. So at this point, I own more private prisons than anybody on the planet. And that's why he was so rich. And so they're coming with this plan. If you watch the show, they're trying to come with a plan to take over the country. And so the reason why they included him is because they said, we're going to make it so that only people with superpowers can live every day. And the rest of the regular people, we'll just put them in his prisons and turn them into internment camps. And so that's
like them FEMA camps.
Yeah, that's what Dion was referencing. So I did see that. I'm like sitting there like, he said they come from a long line of slaves.
They did that shit.
I've never heard in my life.
I think either in New Zealand or Australia, they was doing that to motherfuckers who didn't take the jab.
Damn.
They was putting them in camps?
Yep.
And they must feel like assholes right now. Right? if you ever preach to somebody and talk down on somebody who didn't take the shot, you must feel like an asshole right now. You got duped. You got bamboozled.
Nah, they still holding on to it. I got people on my page every day. You can't negate the people who died and who got long COVID. It's like cold and flu season killed hundreds of thousands of people every year.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
People in old folks' home, that's what they do. They die. But now, instead of having to fill out a report and possibly getting your shit shut down for negligence, you just put COVID-19 on the shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I fucked up and knocked the machine over. We're going to call it COVID.
Let's call it.
Now, y'all, anybody on here, I know Kamar doesn't because he's a vegetarian, but do any of you go to the 5 o'clock steakhouse? I've never been to the 5 o'clock steakhouse.
I would like to go.
I've been there before years ago.
So, like one of the managing partners, his name is Stelio Kakunas.
Oh.
He's being convicted now because for years he has been paying underage girls, and one in particular, for sexual favors since she was 14. They said he's sent her over the years up to $4,000 for pictures and to have sex with her. And he has a long, drawn-out case of him really just grooming and exploiting this young girl since she was 14.
Oh,
and I don't know if people go there. I just, when we see one of these people, you got to call them out. And so the text messages, they got his Cash App stuff, they got everything. of where, and even in some instances where she told him like, look, I'm 16, and he was like first telling her she's too young, and then he come back and he said, nah, it's all good, check this out.
Oh man,
work it out. You know what I'm saying? So my point of saying that is a lot of times with people who we go and patronize their businesses, and even myself, you go up in a restaurant, you got your daughter with you, you got your little girl, your family with you. You know what kind of freaky Jason ass dude is something there in the background looking and shit. And that's why you got to work these rooms and see like who's up in here. and anybody who's going to the 5 o'clock steakhouse, I know like there's a lot of people. Stop going, especially if you got little kids. Like Kendrick said, you better hide your little sister from them. It's the same thing I say with the Cheesecake Factory. Like black people love to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
I forget about the incident. I gotta see the video.
We totally forgot about how that sister was treated in there.
I never saw it, Kim. I gotta see.
I mean, shit. People still go to Elsa's.
Right? Stupid. Why do you go to Elsa's? Elsa's. It's stupid. I want
right by Jazz in the Park, man. It's right outside Jazz. I mean, it's right.
Man, I say fuck that because you know it's fuck Jazz in the Park. But you say
why they do it, clout chasing.
Clout chasing. Look, I'm in Elsa.
Yeah. See how many likes I get for this.
Right. That's what I was trying to do is give you a like.
I ain't been in a while, and I honestly, admittedly, it wasn't due to the racial shit. It's just I never saw the food never was good for me, and it was too expensive just to be paying for that ambiance. Like I'm like, cool, nah, I'm good. But
black people got bougie when they got in there. That's why I didn't like it. Motherfuckers had English accents all of a sudden. I was like, God damn, don't you live on Second and Buffum? Like, fuck. It was years ago we went. I used to go with Rock Kamark. You know, Rock had you back in the days. Rock have you. Come on, man, ride with me. You finna be everywhere. Every club downtown. And this my guy. I know the dude who owned this. And so we used to go. I done been in clubs. Now I can't remember where they was downtown. We're just riding with Rock, and I'm like, well, we was on the river somewhere. And I was asking him about it. He's like, oh man, that dude got indicted. That was years ago. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know.
Upstairs in Note and shit. Like,
yeah, so he took me in because he used to meet some of his female friends in there, and they was always like, I think at that time he was working for the House of Correction, and so they was all like COs and like the workers in the prisons. Rock. If you know Rock, you understand what I'm saying. He tends to know a lot of women, especially back in those days. He stayed in the company of a lot of women, so he knew places to go. Ace Cooley, I see you. Shout out to Ace Cooley, man. How you doing, man? Outlaw family right there. I've known that dude since. Say that again, Courtney.
The woman at the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not finding this. So what happened? What I'm looking for because I'm not finding
a black woman was accosted by a white man, and he called her all kinds of names, nigger this, nigger that, and she went and complained to the management. They did nothing. The black people were sitting in there, did nothing. The police came and made her leave. And at that point when it happened, this had to be around 2017, maybe 2016. The reason I know, or maybe even 2018, the reason I know is because we went out there and protested behind it.
There was a lot of shit going on around there. You got the Cracker Barrel shit. Yeah. You got the
all kinds of shit. It was in style.
We can't eat nowhere.
Yeah, we was being an activist was hot, right? Like it was like you ain't down for the cause, right? That Mama Jenkins said that man at the 5 o'clock steakhouse a freak. She said I used to go there, but it's just like all the other places now, hood ridden. Yeah, that's just by Ricky's somewhere. Like I never go on that street for shit. I don't even stop on that street for gas. Like what is that, Wales? I'm never down there. I'm finna go. We went to Ricky's one time though, and the dude got beat up outside. And I was like, you know what? We ain't come back down here no more. He was from out of town. He was flossing with plenty jury. Got that ass mollywopped. He was laying outside when we came out. I was like, man, that's fucked up. Should have tucked his chain like on Friday. Said all the dope dealers went to Elsa's. Did they?
Yeah.
Is that where they would go? Elsa's dope dealers? Oh, okay.
Yeah, D-boys, but then it wasn't all D-boys. Women used to go. I guess the girls used to go because of the D-boys. The niggas used to.
A lot of women used to go. Sophisticated, the ones who had the principal ladies and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So what's the other all the little ghetto joints that people used to go to, and I'm supposed to be high class? What Kamar call it, clout chasing.
Ones I used to shop at West Seal. Remember West Seal?
I've never been in there, but I remember it.
Juniors used to. It was a sports bar Back in the day, man, juniors used to be like that.
Oh man, yes, because all MPS we would on Fridays that was called 9th hour. If you talk for MPS, we go there. That's right after school. It's happy hour. So you're right. Yeah, juniors.
Everybody go to juniors and stand around and shit. That's where Glenn Big Dog Robinson got robbed at.
Sure is.
In the parking lot.
Yeah. They started bringing the live band and made it a little bit better, but I mean, you know, every time I went there, I just seen too many King people. So I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking coming back here no more.
I just miss Mr. J's, man. Once he passed, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, Mr. J's was a nice spot for a minute. The Onyx actually, when it first opened, was a nice spot, like where he had Mr. J's or ARJ's on Villa. Yeah. What'd you say, Kamar?
Shit, we had a ball in that motherfucker.
Too many nights. Just like, dude, this is just too much fun. This can't be real. Is this Milwaukee? See, I never went downtown and did like the Ladybug and all that. Like, I'm not doing all that. We can go right over here in the hood and have a great time.
They didn't used to let me in because I had tennis shoes when I went down.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I still don't go down to Water Street and no shit, because I was like, I ain't about to risk it.
Well, you wasn't back in the days. You wasn't getting in ARJs and nothing like that either with tennis shoes on. No, man. Right. You can't come with them shoes on, man.
Yeah, Mr. J's they used to stand on shit, boy.
Yeah, man.
Hitting in.
I know, by that time I was like watching the Steppers, so I was coming with hard bottom shoes.
Oh, wow. Sliding all over the place. Y'all see Willie D. Willie D. threatened Stephen A. Smith. He didn't really threaten him. He just said he'll beat his ass. Because we talked about this on the show. Mama Jenkins said that that's on State Street. Okay. Oh, Ace Cooley brought up the Empire Room. Please don't bring it. I fought like 9 bouncers at the Empire Room one night. I had a really good old Dukes of Hazzard brawl with them motherfuckers. We got it in. Right. That was my last fight. I retired after that. I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna stop fighting after this. Like stitches involved and shit like that. But it was fun. It just is like, okay, don't do that again. But no, what was I talking about? We talked about this on the show with Stephen A. Smith and Willie D. My goodness. And this all is about Carla, you on the line?
What it do? What it do, family?
Hey.
What up, Sean? Hold on a second. Let me tell this right quick, and then I'm because I brought you up. I wish you had a car earlier because I'm about to get off the air.
No, I meant to, bro. I meant
to. Listen, you made me lose my train of thought. Oh no. They did a memoriam for OJ at the BET Awards, and people got upset because they did.
Simpson?
Yeah, they did a movie. Like, you know, when they say that people who we lost, brothers and sisters we lost last year,
and niggas was mad.
And people was pissed, like especially his ex-wife's family. And Stephen A. Smith came on and went on a rant and was talking about like how shame on them, and you know, this is disgraceful and OJ doesn't belong up there. And then Faison Love came and just really took a crap on Stephen A. Smith.
Right.
It was like, you bitch ass motherfuckers, Uncle Tom. Willie D, who's never liked Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if y'all know who Willie D is, came in like, man, Stephen A. Smith, you bitch and all this. And Stephen A. Smith came back and was like, yo, I'm not scared of you. Talking to Willie D. I know who you is. I'm not scared of you. And Willie D just had this video where he's like, dude, I will mop the floor with your punk ass. Like he just broke him all the way down. Like, it was like, dude, it's not like if you see me, you really gonna try to, like, this ain't gonna happen. But just so happened that if we meet up and you felt like you wanted to get it in, like, I'll beat the shit out of you. It's hilarious because Willie D is country as they come. And Willie D got history of putting some hands on people over the years.
Like, Willie D used to box. Like, I mean,
professional fighter. And that's what I'm like, Stephen A. might want to be careful. Like, you know,
Stephen A. try to do the boxing training. That shit.
That's what Willie D was talking about. Like, we seen your skills, man. Like, and you know, Willie was at Charles Barkley for a minute till he kept saying, I whooped Charles Barkley ass. And Barkley kept it real when they interviewed him. He said, I don't know the guy. I don't know that guy. He a rapper or something, right? I don't know that. Charles Barkley, like a country ass motherfucker, probably will whoop my ass. I just thought it was funny. That's why I brought it up. Sean, what's going on, man? What's going on? What you got?
What's happening, man?
Ain't nothing to it. What's poppin'? We got short time because we already at 10:10. So you got a couple minutes. What's on your mind?
Did you get my mess?
Grace y'all with my presence.
Well, you should have graced us earlier. Oh yeah, I forgot you said
Freddie
you,
Courtney.
okay. You was looking for Courtney. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking for Courtney Saturday. I was gonna beat Courtney down like Willie D was gonna do him.
No, you weren't gonna do nothing. Oh, but real, how
We
you
got beat.
10? Where you been? I said that to a chick. She said that it worked 10-10. I was like, where you been? Did you get my message? And she just looking. I was like, damn, you don't know where that
You
came
don't
from.
know the song. She ain't
I don't know where it
Right,
came
they
from
don't
either.
even know about So Anxious. I'm
He
like,
ain't so
damn,
Right. Where the hell did that come from?
it came from Genuine. So
Who
Anxious.
listens to
Y'all remember that?
Genuine? No, I've never listened to no shit
Hey,
like
come
that.
on, that old.
No, we was
That's when y'all just some hardcore thugs, huh?
well,
Well,
back
my
then.
God.
Well, I wasn't necessarily that, but I wasn't listening to Genuine. That would have made me like
that's
questionable.
what you play when you with your lady. It turns
No, I'm playing Al Green or some shit when I'm with my lady. I'm not playing fucking Genuine.
no.
No, never. Like, oh, hey, baby, this is
Right.
Isaac Hayes right here. This
Where
just
y'all come from? Damn.
well, you know, we
Like,
old and crusty.
like-
Now, Sean, you got to tell her why you have a problem with her. You can't just call and threaten her. Why do you have a problem with Courtney? Because you got a problem with the Outlaw. We got to fix it.
I got a problem with Courtney because she works for the Black Chamber of Commerce, and I ain't got my other meeting, and I've been waiting for what 5 months.
What that got to do with me? Look, Rail just hit me up
You
about
work there.
Oh.
You work there.
What?
This is the season of all associates can get it too.
I work for Outlaw Radio too, but I don't control this, do I?
You don't
Yeah,
work for Outlaw Radio.
I work for
KB
Outlaw
ain't
Radio.
listen. I know KB cheap. If you work for Outlaw Radio, get another job because KB ain't giving you.
Yeah,
My bad,
go
KG,
go
bro.
work. No, go work for the Game Member podcast. You're gonna make way more money
My
over there.
My bad, KB.
We know you pay. We know you pay much higher rates, right? Like,
No, I don't. I ain't paying nothing.
No, I don't.
I'm like you.
I don't have a
I
dollar to
learned
give.
from the best.
This
I don't have a dollar to give.
out here. That's what
Mhm.
Is there an issue with people getting their payments from these boot camps? Because y'all show was on
No,
my ass to get
not
one.
you.
say
Kamar got
what?
his money. They got everybody else got. I got my money. My son got his money.
Yeah.
People need.
Well, why ain't I got mine, Courtney?
Huh?
You know what? I don't even want the answer on the show. I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
All right, I'll be there.
I hear the.
She
I
said she-
think I heard a pause in your voice.
yeah, she
I
was
think I
looking
heard
like,
a
really,
pause in your
nigga?
voice.
I'll be there.
You said what, fool?
No meeting now.
She paused because she like, what? She twisting up her fingers. You can't see her. She up here. She's
No, she did, bro. Don't say that, bro. Don't say that, bro. Don't say that, bro.
she like,
You
what
gonna
it
make
do,
me go up
fool?
there
Come
for
on
real.
through.
I'm gonna go up there with them goons.
All right.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh man. Don't mess around. Get surprised, Sean.
Hey man, guess what, man?
What's that?
I had somebody tonight, right? Now, he ain't gonna bust. He ain't gonna
Is
bust
he
the grape
even talking? What you was taking so long?
if Jesus needed some help making some wine.
Now who was this?
I ain't gonna say his name because he close to us. But talking about what he would have did and what he wish it was him down there at the Hyatt, right? You know, I told his soft ass, "Motherfucker, you ain't did nothing 15 years. Fuck you gonna do? Besides what you doing right now." I'm saying this Ben Crump then brought out all type of heroes, got all type of heroes and Marvel characters and shit coming out the woodwork.
Well, we need something to
Ben
get us
Crump.
woke up, man. We need something to energize this bunny, man.
Well, that's what he energized too, a bunch of bunnies.
Now, Sean, I'm about to get off the air, so you're gonna have to call back earlier in the show when you done with your dinner. You can't be
Yeah,
eating.
man.
So I just had some greens that was really fire.
Right.
They wasn't as good as mama's.
All week.
You know,
They wasn't as good as mama's, but they was good.
I'm gonna need for you to do all that before you call the show because I'm hungry now, and listening that you eat is making me like stressed out. So you got to call in. We got to. No, you didn't. I kept the show going longer, and all you've been doing is eating greens and cornbread the whole goddamn 5 minutes. So I'm gonna get you on.
I
Come
had to,
join us
bro.
Wednesday so we can talk more about what's going on and what you. Because I gave you your props and I told people watch the show from Saturday, which was a dope interview. So get with us Wednesday, man.
You know what? I'm gonna come on with is Courtney gonna be there Wednesday? No, she ain't gonna be there Wednesday. She gonna
Why
be
wouldn't
healing
I
up.
be here
I'll be
Wednesday?
on.
Okay, we'll
You ain't
see.
gonna be there because you gonna be healing up.
Wow, we gonna. Yeah. We this is it. This is it. Come on, let's close this thing down, man. What you got going? What's your hours? What you got popping? What specials? What you got? What's popping with
I'm in
Vitality?
Phoenix Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 7. Tomorrow night, I'll be at Alice's Garden. I'm going down to the garden event, weather permitting. I'll be there. Saturday, I'll be back. I'll be down at the Fondy Market. So, yeah.
Okay. Real
Usually
anything
the
besides
normal week.
anything besides plantation week for anybody else except myself? Because that's all I got doing. I'm in the fields all week with the mule and the plow. Like, how?
Nah, I'm working all week, but also I've been just working on trying to get this children's book illustrated. You know, my emotional intelligence book for children. So I'm working on getting that illustrated, outlining a emotional intelligence e-course, so that I could put a PowerPoint presentation together and kind of use that to segue into selling the e-course online for anybody who can't make it to the emotional intelligence class I teach every first Saturday of the month at the Wellness Our Way event.
Okay. Courtney, what's popping? Anything for you? Because you with the chamber, like Sean said. What y'all doing this week?
Nothing's happening this week, but there is gonna be some live music on Wednesday down by the Marcus Performing Arts Center. You know, so I think every second and fourth Wednesday of the month is gonna be some live music, different bands. You know, so I think it's in the evening hours, like 4, 5, 5 to 9, something like that.
Like
So,
Jazz in the Park by Elsa's.
yeah, but it's different bands. I know Talib Kweli gonna be down there one Wednesday. It's a couple. It's Summer of Soul is what it's called. You know, you can find it on your events page on your Facebook under events.
Okay.
God damn it.
Is that hyphen with the hyphen radio? Is they behind that?
I think they sponsor it, but it's
Okay.
somebody else. Culture and design, because I was gonna be a vendor for it, and I just been slacking. I've been slacking the past couple of years vending, just slacking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, shout out to Rail because we got to get some angst off on Sunday. We went and roll some machineries. I got plenty more Rail, and I got challenged by my wife today. She's like, you need to start selling that shit. She don't talk like that. She said you need to start selling some of the stuff you got in the basement. And I'm like, no, why would I sell my stuff in my DMX voice? What are you talking about? Huh? Right? And she's like, no, you're never gonna drive. I said, I'm driving everything down there this summer. She was like, stop playing. You're not driving everything. So I am going to drive everything that I have in this house over the next 6 months. I'm driving out all 40 of them, 45 of them.
Oh.
I'm driving them. And so you're going to be with me. So, and my guy, Dre, shout out to Dre. He rocks with us too. He was over here. He pops in and Dre just said, well, sell me something. And I said, okay, I'm going to sell you something. So, Rel, I want to say to you, you might, if you one day you can come over here and take a look around, it might be one down here for you that I can get that's really nice and put you in a good place and get a good deal on it.
Okay.
So you can get something because I do got too much shit. Like it's like come on, like, really. I got some I'm absolutely would never part with, but there's some I'd be like, yeah, all right, you get him, but we'll talk. So then,
for sure.
It's just she reminded me like you need. She don't really tell me what to do. She just makes suggestions, but they really are commands wrapped up in suggestions.
Right.
You need to start selling some of that shit. It's like nigga, start selling some of that shit, right? Like,
I'm gonna tell you what to do, but I'm gonna let you feel like you made the decision.
Right? Didn't I tell you that was a good idea? And I'm gonna have that money like you sure was because really. Most of the time when I sell them, all I'm gonna really do is take the money I bought and buy a new one. I mean, the money I got from them and buy a new one. That's what I'm gonna do. So, but shout out to you. Shout out to my brothers Jay, the Jones brothers, and my brother John, and my brother Bear Meat, who's back. You might have seen it on Facebook. We went to the shooting range last week got it, man, got a lot of stress off. I don't know how many guns and how many bullets.
Outlaws.
I went, y'all listen, y'all.
Because really, I need somebody to help teach me and show me with my guns. I got these AR pistols and all this different shit. So instead of me paying somebody there to show me one of y'all,
no, we're gonna have, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a rifle day, because we just did pistols this day. It was just pistols, handguns. And the next time we're going to a different range that allows rifles, because we got a bunch of, between him, Jay, and myself, we got, and my brother, it's a lot of rifles and shotguns and shit like that. So we're going to do that. And so I'm going to tell y'all the date. So if y'all want to come as Outlaws, show up. And it be just like everybody just lay their stuff out. So you don't have to like, man, can I shoot you? People, you know, brothers, man, go ahead. Like, let's shoot that. Especially my guy, Jay. He wants you to shoot everything he got. Like, no, shoot this. Fuck yours. Shoot this. I'm like, okay, Jay, I'll shoot it. So, no, it's fun. It's a stress reliever. And we talk about getting right and getting ready for them people hopping out them U-Haul trucks.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, one thing, like I say, grip up. Like, look, Mr. Charlie, get back on the U-Haul truck. I'm going to help you out with this AR-15 from about 60 yards away. So, but that's neither here nor there. Thank y'all for tuning into the show, man. Understand that all this stuff is just opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. Nobody here is going to meet up and fight at the club afterwards. And nobody should be mad at nobody else about nothing said on this show. Disclaimer is and always has been the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio. Solely those are the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at, man. But the most important thing I would encourage everybody to do is to have something to say. You don't necessarily have to say what I say. I have something to say. And once you say something, then go do something. Because activism without activity is useless. And you have to understand that. You can be the type of person that's always sitting around. Nobody believes you, right? Because you've never done shit in your life. You wouldn't bust a nut in a whole house. So it's time for people to stop talking so much. And it don't have to be on the news. It don't have to be on Instagram. You don't have to do it for clicks and likes. You know, find something that you're passionate about in the community and just do it. That's one of the most beautiful things about the people who I talk to at the Wellness Our Way events is all the time is they felt something deeply rooted within their soul. And they said, I got to pursue this. And they're trying to pursue that and they're doing it. There's action there. It ain't just about me talking and daydreaming. It's about me executing and making it happen. Because we all know that if you're talking all the time and you ain't doing shit, your criticism of the community outweighs your contribution, and that ultimately makes your ass a coon. I will see y'all Wednesday, man. Peace and love, man. Y'all be easy.